We are on air. We are on air. We are on air. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Much love to y'all. Welcome to the Maurice Duck channel. Welcome to my vlogcast. Thick skin only. Hashtag thick skin only because you gotta have thick skin to come on here. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. Once again, I got my brother. I call you Jay, but would you like to be called by?
Yeah, Jay Da Vinci.
Jay Da Vinci, right here, man. He's a righteous brother, man, down for his stuff, down for the cause. Always, man. So it's good to have you on here.
That 4D shit.
Yeah. What's up, John? I'm gonna get a shout out to the chat. What's up, John? Gina Patriot. Nope. What's up, Tanya? What's up, Smurf? Smurf Bear, not easy. Oh, there goes Smurf. Big Mike Jr. And Christy B. Mayberry in the house. Maybe if you want to pop on, let me know. I saw your video earlier. Hey, I appreciate the video earlier, Mayberry. And man, likewise in the house. I see it. Likewise, you want to get up? Let me know. I got your email. Conservative woman. We got conservative woman in the house. We got AD failed in the house. Likewise in the house. Okay. Yeah, computer fixed. I had to restart everything, but I don't know how it happened, but it happened. But y'all don't got my personal number. If y'all want to send me your email on my text on my cell phone, and I'll invite you. I got your email on my cell phone, AD, but just give me a thumbs up, anybody. You know. So, what's up, brother?
Man, I'm just kicking it.
Yeah,
you know, at the jobby job like always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the job on live.
That's a job on live. Hey, really like going on the show and getting paid for it.
Right. we just up just being real, yo. You know.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till I come back to my main channel. In about 15 more days, I'll be back on my main channel with the biggest subscribers on there. We can see more audience here, so it's gonna be lit.
Right.
Second channel, they got me a YouTube channel.
Right.
The copyright strikes, so they're banned from going live on 90 days, so I have to go back here.
Right.
It's all good. What's up, Tracy? Tracy, good. But all right, beautiful chat tonight. Beautiful chat, man. So no collusion, right?
No collusion, but they're going for the obstruction. They're trying to get the obstruction. But man, I want to tell you what, though. I was watching, I read like 150 pages in it, man. And you know what? It's a lot to read. It's a lot to read. It's like 200 some pages just in the first part. And it's like in 2 volumes, you know what I mean? And the redactions on it ain't really bad. You get the gist. You get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? So, with no collusion, they're trying for the obstruction. CNN was crying. CNBC was crying. I was checking them out too. But basically, all of MSN was crying. Now, Strzok wants to still continue his blame. Another blame, investigation and stuff, which ain't going to work. You know what I mean? And now it's just time to bring the pain. You know what I mean? It's time to bring the pain. I want to see some IG reports. I want to see the 302s. You know what I'm saying? And as I said last night, man, let's hold the FISA until like October. You know what I'm saying? September, October. Hold the FISA because then after that, smooth sailing all the way. You know, they can't handle the FISAs. But no, you know what got me though, man? You know what I'm saying? What really got me though. Remember, what was it, a couple months ago when Rothstein was supposed to have a meeting with Trump?
Right.
and he went on that plane. It was just him and Trump and his staff, and that was it, right? And then all of a sudden, Rothstein said there was no collusion, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm thinking Rothstein's going to take a plea. You know what I'm saying? Because I really, really believe when they were up on that plane, Trump showed him a copy of him signing in FISA reports. Because what? Because you know what? Haven't seen that Negro and haven't heard shit from that nigga all day. Just seen him in back of bar, not saying shit.
Talk for 1 minute. I'll be back. I'm going to do an invite. Keep talking. I'm going to come back.
All right. But yeah, man. Rothstein, that dude, man. I think that dude's getting a plea. You know what I'm saying? Because he signed one of those bad boys. You there?
Right. Hold on.
I'm gonna try that. Hold on.
Trying to find likewise email.
Oh, okay.
But I'm on here right now. But yeah, what's the email, man? Where is it? Email.
Try to get a hold of Uber.
Uber guy, yeah. I tried it last night. I'm trying to invite him on there randomly. Actually,
right.
You know, Uber guy. Uber guy be spitting that KRS-One type of stuff too. Likewise, text me or email to my phone.
All right, AD. What's up, AD?
AD. Trying to get likewise.
Yo, what's up? How you doing, bro?
You ready yet? What's up, AD? You hear us? You hear?
Oh, y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. I forgot I had it in the off position. My bad.
Most definitely. How you feeling, brother?
All right, and yourself, son?
Oh, I'm all right, man. Blessed. The blessed 6 feet above ground. I'm happy.
Nice.
So what do you think of that, man? Let's hit that Mueller report. That's top news. So what's your opinion on it?
I don't know. I told y'all how I felt last night, man. I don't really care. That doesn't move me.
Right,
like,
right.
That's a bunch. Come on, man. You can't give me something with a lot of the most critical information blacked out. I can't draw off of that. Like even if I'm for the redemption of the person who is against, I still need to see everything so I can know. That doesn't move me.
I'm about 150 pages into it right now, right? And from what I see, I mean, I'll be honest, the redactions really ain't that bad. It gives you the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that the other people that they interview just to protect their identities. Because let's think about it, bro, right?
How many pages you say you into it right now?
I'm about 150.
And guess how many pages is redacted in that one little small section?
10%.
150.
Yeah, but the way it's very...
They're not going to tell you that it's only 150 pages redacted. But yeah, my dude, like, trust me, there's a lot of stuff that they didn't put in that report, man. But I just want to talk about it because I don't want them come looking at me because I'm like, come on, man, I would not tell a lie, man. If I'm gonna say something wrong, I'm gonna not say it at all.
Yeah, but I'm reading it, right?
About anything else.
Yeah, but I'm reading it, but it's like it's maybe like no more like okay if you go like no more like a sentence or two or 2 or 3 sentences than the rest. I mean, it's really really fluid. You know what I'm saying? So if it's 10%, a lot of it's there. A lot of it's there. You know what I'm saying? And
so my thing is in a very quick but sophisticated manner. What's the end game? I mean, like if you supported Trump from the beginning, and you know you supported him, and you know what I'm saying, what you did, what you put forth, the effort you you put forth. Why would you waste time like going over that versus getting ready to prepare your strategy for 2020? You'll be like, all right, we told y'all a long time ago, man, ain't no rush, man, it was us.
Man, the 2020 strategies already out there, man. Actually, what I think the Democrats are making making the strategy. Personally, I mean that's the way I'm seeing it. They're just inserting
Right.
their
They are making
yeah.
a strategy. So my thing is, why not just like let it go? Like y'all been going back and forth with these people for all this time, and it makes no sense. Like it's
Because they're
time,
not going
like
to let it go. They want to put in another blame investigation
man,
on obstruction.
that was because he wouldn't be quiet, man. He kept talking, like he kept tweeting, man. Like he kept engaging and keeping the conversation going. Like they just like it just like if you in the hood, man, and the dude get beat up, and somebody say why he got beat up, and because man he just wouldn't shut up.
Royal Tower?
No, I don't.
He wouldn't shut up, man. That's too easy, man. All you
Well, I
got to do
want,
is be quiet to be president, but he quit.
but you know what, though, man? I mean, but look what happened when they were being quiet, being present for all the other
No,
presidents that
man,
came
but
out.
he ain't just say no light stuff though. like he said some dark, heavy stuff, man, that touch people, and people are not going to forget that, and they will never, ever, ever support him.
Well, I mean, hey, that's their choice, though.
Right.
I ain't mad at them.
But what I'm saying is that was already set in stone before the election, when the election first begun, and throughout the whole entire election cycle, brother. Now you're talking about post that and into his presidency. He became president when he was elected president in 2016. He became president in 2017. It's been well over 2 years, and it's still the same thing, brother. Like you can't possibly explain that from albeit the most powerful man in the world, the president of the United States of America. You can't have a president of America, man, that's saying the shit that he's saying and tweeting stuff that he's tweeting and putting stuff in people's heads, man, that just is not right for what we supposed to believe in, what we're supposed to stand for in this country. Like people can hate me for that all they want to, brother, but I'm raising kids and I refuse.
Only thing is socialism and globalism. The only two things I say no to. Definitely no. You know what I mean?
Socialism and communism only end in starvation and genocide.
You're talking about socialism, which the primary definition of socialism
I'll be right back.
is the political and economic theory of social organization.
These are
advocates
120.
that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community.
These are just
You talking about
crystals.
that definition of socialism, or are you talking about the definition of socialism, which states in Marxist theory, a transitional social state between the overthrow of capitalism and the realization of communism?
This is just
Because that seems like what y'all going off of.
these are
Y'all
minerals
going off of that
inside
one. Which is something that's really man-made. I'm trying to figure out what y'all talking about right now, man.
The problem with either of them is the outcome of every time it's been infiltrated or implemented.
So how many times has it been infiltrated?
It's been implemented in about at least 24 countries.
Okay. And how is the United States of America faring with those countries on several economic fronts? Healthcare, trade.
We're way better than a third world country, that's for damn sure.
Of course, we're way better than a third world country, but when you got a third world country inside your country, that ain't nothing that you should be like celebrating right now.
Well, one of the things that socialism, communism, however you want to call it, is generally.
And they'll call me a dumb one. I don't even think y'all really ready for a realistic argument.
Yeah.
Y'all make this shit too easy. Don't give me no freebies, man.
Yeah, if you ask me, I think it depends on the culture of the country. Because you look at a place like China, I mean, what would they be like a free economy? You know what I mean? It's already fucked up, and they're still, even though they say they're open, they're not open. Still a communist country. There's two ways of controlling people: fear and force. You know what I mean? And the fear is that you keep your conscience of doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Through religion. Force is if you do this shit, we're gonna cut your head off. That's why.
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody's talking, if you ain't gonna feel like talking, you cut your mic. And when you want to talk, put the mic back on. Everybody do that.
Yeah, because that's my thing. You can't just say like one world, because then you're talking about being a global. Everything has to be different. Like I say, you look at China. China has 1.5 billion people. That's how they control people. Look at Saddam Hussein. That's why Saddam Hussein was able to control people, because certain people just won't do the right thing. So you have to make them do the right thing. No, it's just true. That's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the way Gaddafi had control over the entire North African area because of the fact he was the linchpin there, and Libya was the only thing stabilizing that part of the world. You took him out, and bang, now you have open air slave trade going on in the same place.
That's what I'm saying. That's the same thing. That's the same thing with Iraq.
Okay.
You took Saddam out. And people want to say, well, you know what? He kills his people. He kills those people. Well, you know what? That's the only thing that certain people understand. But then people in the West want to complain and say, well, Islam this, Islam that. Well, you know what? That's how Islam is. That's the same shit that you're complaining about. But then you want to go over there and liberate those societies and bring them and make those societies like they are here.
Hey, one second, brother. Yeah. Hey, shout out Christine. Christine, I watched your video earlier, sister. I appreciate your video, man. Lucretia Hughes, yeah, you're right. She is a patriot, man. She one of the few who, even though we on opposite sides of the aisle right now, she's one of the few who I actually have respect for. So I rocks with that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's just crazy how we got some people that claim to be patriots out here calling other people fake patriots, and it's ridiculous when they're just sitting on their ass behind a computer wanting to run their mouth about everybody else, and they're just sitting there blah, 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 fake patriot, and the other people out making a change and making a difference, putting on rallies and gathering people together. We had girls from Georgia Tech coming out there saying, where's the protest at? We don't have protest here. We're Trump supporters. We don't do that. And they stayed there for a couple hours asking questions.
Yeah.
So, that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Definitely. Definitely. Dialogue is definitely one of the primary solutions at this point. But we need to go further. But it's up to people to decide if they want to go further or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Anyway, Mo, I got my patriotic shirt on today. You see that? You see that, Mo? It says Mr. President. Then at the bottom it says I'm a Muslim. Do you know why it says that?
Oh, please enlighten us on this one, man, because honestly, I got some questions, brother.
Oh no, this is one of my friend's shirts. So I told him I'd wear it. Just because we have to go back and look at like the history of Islam in America and why it existed. Primarily amongst the African American community. You know what I mean? Going back into the religion and everything, to where it's like even if you were the most devout Christian, Catholic, or whatever, you still weren't shit. You know, and it goes back to that time to where it's like it was the only alternative. You know what I mean? For a lot of people. So when people start talking about Muslims and this and that, it's like, hey, you got to realize that Muslims have been here all along. You're talking about extremism. You're talking about people that you can essentially point out because of the way they dress or ethnicity. So
all of this whole time, what do you mean? The last 30, 40 years? Because they ain't been here since.
No,
they haven't been here that long.
They've been here since the 20s. Been here since the 20s. I mean, you have to say it just doesn't seem that way because other than like showing Louis Farrakhan being radical and acting crazy or speaking his mind, you don't know about it.
I like this dude.
In the mid 19 teens and in the 1920s, man, there were an influx of individuals. And I even talked about this to somebody. I don't know if it was you, Mo, privately, or somebody else. But it's kind of crazy that, matter of fact, it was at work to be exact. The one time we actually had somewhat of a political discussion. I said it's amazing that people telling people that they can't come over here because they're gonna bring crime and diseases and things of that nature. But in the 19 teens and the 1920s, a lot of their ancestors brung the same things over here. Organized crime came from where? Don't kill me, y'all. I'm just saying.
Well, organized crime is essentially from Italy and from Israel, because when you talk about the mobsters, I mean, a good majority of them organized crime was the Israelis, not just the Italian mafia, because a lot of people that got blended into that, the Benny Siegels, people like that, those were Jews. Those were not Italians.
All right. Hey, Jay, you unmute your mic.
All right, go ahead.
I muted your mic because you were not talking, so you can unmute the mic. Press the unmute button.
Yeah, I got it. No, I had a train going by, so I didn't want that to be too loud over the mic.
No, I thought Jay. My guy Jay over here. I cut his mic off because he was talking. It was some noise in the back. There you go. Hey, whenever anybody not talking, everybody cut their mics off.
No doubt.
We'll get a better feedback. Even myself is going to do that. I got to learn how to do it. I'm kind of learning now.
But
so, if you get ready to talk, you can put your mic back on.
Gotcha.
Unless y'all in the argument, it's different. I mean, it's different when y'all in the argument. But let me stop.
Nah, I'm at work right now, so I'm kind of multitasking once again.
No, but my whole point is, man, we one big ass, one-dimensional, fucked up family. We United States of America. We are gang of motherfucking misfits. It's just that a lot of people feel like you have the favorite child, and we know who the favorite child is, and motherfuckers don't like it. But at the same time, motherfuckers still family. If Russia make their way over here, man, somehow, some way, y'all really gonna sit up and tell me that y'all gonna lay down for Russia? Motherfuckers gonna lay down for Russia? Boy, you crazy, boy. Motherfuckers ain't finna do that. Motherfuckers ain't having that.
Over here, man, we ain't laying down for nobody. I mean,
right, but all we do is talk shit to each other all day, every day. Like, it ain't never no type of like realistic dialogue. It's always us talking shit to each other. Like, somebody got to talk about what somebody said in a negative fashion. Like, we don't have any positive discussions. Like, from a percentage-wise basis, there are no positive discussions happening at all, man. Especially from an internet perspective. That's stupid. That's dumb. That makes no sense. That shows weakness.
But you're the brother that believe in socialism.
I just told you what socialism actually means. I gave you both definitions. You can go with the primary definition, which was the first definition I gave you, by a community, my nigga. Like not by a state or a group of individuals who believe in something other than what other people believe in, but by the community, brother. We already live in socialism. We already live there. I don't know why y'all think that we don't.
How are we living in the socialism?
Because, man, I just gave you the definition. Do you want me to give you the definition again, brother?
Give me the definition. I'm listening.
Socialism, a political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Not the 1%, brother. The community as a whole. Everybody. Not the 1%, brother. We all should have stake in this shit. Stop it, man. Y'all out here playing these games, man, and talking about this stuff in the wrong fashion, in the wrong way. It's not even right. I can get killed for that alone.
If everybody should have a stake in it, but the majority of people ain't gonna put the effort in. They're just gonna wait for somebody else to do it, and then
it ain't about them waiting, no. But they putting energy in places and into things that they should be putting energy into. It'd be one thing if energy wasn't flowing, brother. Energy is flowing. It's just that the negative energy outweighs their positive counterparts. Therefore, we get nowhere. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change because everybody's negative. And the sad part about it is, it's just me. I don't know. I can't speak for y'all, but it's so easy to decipher. It's so easy to see who's causing the fucking problems, but nobody sees it.
But look, like
they right there in front of y'all faces. They right there. They talking to you. You listening to them. You're looking at their tweets. You're looking at their Facebook pages. They full of shit. They don't live like you. They don't live like me. Man, fuck out of here. That's the shit they talking about. Unless they talking about something that I know that I experience in my everyday life. Man, y'all out here tripping in these streets, man. And the shit people talking about, man, ain't even what they experiencing, man. Be honest, man. Tell the truth.
Calm down. Let's calm down, AD.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. I'm done.
I know, but let's calm down. Look. But socialism, can I tell you something? What about the word social workers? All that's like social. Look at the word socialism. Use your common sense of the name, the word socialism. Use your common sense on it. I ain't even talking about books right now. I'm using common sense, socialism. What the word socialism really mean?
Sometimes you gotta go above your common sense, boy. Sometimes you need to have a brain, man. You need to have a brain, man. Like you need to know how to think. Some people don't want to think. They just want to coast along, and it don't get you nowhere, brother. I promise you it don't. Trust me. I'd be dead right now, man, if I thought the way 90% of the people, and I'm just going to talk about the United States of America for all you globalists who's not really globalists, because you talk about everything that don't even pertain to what we got going on.
Dude, there ain't a globalist bone inside mine, bro. I'm not down with that shit. I don't want nobody telling me what to do and how to do it, when to do it, what to say, and all that shit.
I'm sorry.
Hey, what you said, Jay? You said you don't want nobody telling me what to do.
I don't want nobody telling me no shit. Don't tell me shit. Don't tell me how to speak. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me I can't keep my guns. And I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, point blank.
Right. But in every sector that you go to, you got a large segment of that segment, man. Damn, I said large segment of that segment. God damn, you can't make this shit up. But you got a large population, man, within that group, man, that they feel like you have to think just like them. They have a hive mind mentality, brother. They do. They have that, and there's nothing that you could do to change that.
Oh, I ain't
because if
it
was something that we could do to change that, we could change that. Because if we change that, if we get rid of that, man, we want to step to true greatness. I promise you. If we can get rid of that, we all have to think alike. We all have to live alike. No, man, this is the United States of America.
Well, you know what?
Shit, we were slaves and we still here. We still ain't set this motherfucker on fire yet. No, man, come on. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm just saying.
I ain't did that. I ain't no slave. I'll tell you that right now.
Shit. Man, but you know what I'm talking about, man.
Right.
I ain't one of those people. You know what I'm talking about? Like our people suffer, boy.
Oh yeah, but you know what though, man? Listen, my biggest thing is like this, all right? We, as I said before yesterday, we got to work on ourselves as black people, man, because you know why? It's bad. It's bad. It's very bad. I work around crazy black people every single day. Trust me.
Niggas.
The niggas. You know what I'm saying? Straight out niggas.
In front of my job, we got a bunch of niggas too.
Oh,
The police don't fuck with her or nothing.
Oh,
$100. I be looking like, come on, man.
Oh,
You see me every motherfucking day, and you steady asking me for dollars. Before I started working, I was giving your ass dollars, but I ain't got no dollars for your ass right now. That's it. Just thank God. Thank God.
hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest. Niggas is the majority compared to us, because I see a lot of niggas. I mean, seriously, you know. I mean, in first, as I said
Thick
before,
skin
first,
only.
huh?
No, I have to say thick skin only. Whenever it get too intense, harsh words, I gotta say thick skin only. It's the hashtag right here.
Right.
Like,
Hey,
no,
man.
I'm not downgrading the young woman. I'm just saying, like, I see her every day, and it's like when I'm looking at the internet though, I'm just seeing like always this sorry, but this black perception of this is what
Right.
this stuff really is. When no, it's a mixed perception. It's just that you won't see it because you focus on and what touches me the most and what I used to advocate against the most
All
is
right, all
the
right,
deaths, man, of young black men, man, in our community.
all right. I want to get someone
They
else to
draw
talk
for
on
that,
this.
and that's the foundation of it. But when it's so much more, it's just because that's the burden that we have because we do have the highest total, man, in that category, man, of young black men getting killed.
Right.
Okay. Likewise, what's your take on this? Likewise, what's your take?
I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I really don't because everybody, like I said, everybody wants to say that it's a black and white issue or this person needs to do this person needs to do that. You know what? This is America. There's money here. If you want to make it, you're gonna make it. You know, I don't really care about race. I never have, and probably never will. You know what I'm saying? Have I had issues with? I've had issues with damn near everybody, good and bad. But to say, well, blacks or niggas and this and that, you know, speak on everybody. Speak on anybody that's not doing the right thing.
Hey, what's your take on socialism? Your take on socialism. Your take.
Socialism will never happen here in this country.
But you said you're a globalist.
I'm a globalist as far as like wanting to see and do everything for me. I don't think this for like what goes on here in America because I travel a lot. So what goes on in other countries affects me. Now everybody wants to say, well, I'm not a globalist. I'm not this. I'm not that. Why is everybody so motherfucking worried about what happened in Paris with that fucking building burning up? What the fuck does that have to do with America?
That was a false flag, man.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. It has nothing to do. If everybody's going to America and whatever goes on in the rest of the world,
Okay.
It's about socialism or about globalism. Why the fuck do you care? It didn't happen in America.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna limit your time because I'm trying to let everybody time like at least 1 or 2 minutes.
Good, bro.
Okay. Smurf Bear, what's your take, Smurf?
Well, simply my take on socialism and communism and that sort of thing is very I look at history. I look at where it's come from. I look at what it's done to every nation that's taken it on as their way of doing things. And honestly,
Hey,
like I
Jay,
said,
can you mute your mic? Hold on, I'll do it.
but after studying history for so long and understanding how things unfold, I definitely cannot agree with socialism or communism as a national doctrine.
Well, how
Just
can you?
because-
Yeah, but hold on, dude. How can you say that when you have cultures that were essentially behind, and if they didn't round up their?
I'm gonna let you finish.
Basically,
I want to know.
like I've said, I've studied history. I understand history, and since the beginning of communism up until the very last second that I'm speaking now, it has never worked in any country that has adopted it. It usually turns into a mess. It halts the economy. It slows everything down. There's a reason why certain countries haven't gotten out of the 50s or the 30s Some countries that adopted it in the 70s are still stuck in that era. I mean, it literally puts a halt to everything.
Yeah,
There
but
is no such thing as growth.
Yeah, but here's the thing: what would have happened to Russia had they not turned in? They'd be fucked up. They'd be like a peasant colony, like
Hey,
under.
If they were given an option after World War I, it wouldn't have happened the way it did.
Hold on a second. Chrissy B,
Man, can I say something? Can I say something? I've been quiet for a long time.
I know. You next. What's your turn?
Can I say something, man? God damn it. Can I say something?
Hold on. I'm just trying to be reasonable over here. Yeah. Hey, Chrissy B, are you here? If not,
No. Yeah.
Chrissy B, what's your take on it? 2 minutes. Your take on it, 2 minutes.
Socialism? I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat Tigger, Dreamer, CC, Blizzard, Grace, and I don't want to kill Grandma.
Man, socialism is another word, truthfully, for Marxism. The only country that ever had socialism in the history of the United States being a country is the Soviet Union, man. And they ran that motherfucker tight and strong for a long time.
Is videos of Venezuela eating dogs, picking up dogs and taking them and eating them because they're starving, picking through trash because they're starving. I see a mother carrying a 19-year-old daughter who is 60 pounds, who looks like she's 12 years old, walking down the street, trying to...
That has more to do with...
Hey, hold on, likewise. Hold on. Let her finish it. Let her finish. Likewise.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with...
Hold on.
Okay. I'm done. That's just my take on it.
Okay, so take it. Okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing: is you're speaking on a country that essentially did what a lot of countries in Africa did, and that's mismanaging their funds. Okay, those countries are not poor; they're mismanaged. They fucked up. They did a lot of bad loans, and granted a lot of people access to the resources as payback and gratitude for helping them get their independence. That has nothing to do with socialism. That's mismanagement of the funds. Because had they not did what they did for Haiti, had they not did what they did for Dominican Republic, then they would have a shitload of money saved up to take care of the people.
You want to talk about Haiti? What about the money that the Clintons give to it? Where the fuck did that money go?
Maybe you don't understand like with the oil that Venezuela has. Okay, let me give you guys a brief history. Jay knows this history, but essentially, of all the Americas, Haiti was the first country to gain their independence. Okay, when they gained their independence, one of the things that they did, Venezuela was the second country. Haiti sent soldiers, sent arms and everything to help Venezuela get their independence. When Hugo Chavez became president, he understood that. And he understood at that time that Haiti was struggling. And what he did was, he said, you know what? You guys can have as much oil as you want to get back on your feet. It's interest-free. You pay us back in 30 years, okay? What Haiti did with the money, I don't know. But that's where a lot of that money is tied up in. That's where a lot of the oil went to. Them, the Dominican Republic, and it was money it was oil that was used for gratitude.
Hey, hold on. You want to come on? No.
Yeah, because they knew that they owed them. You know what I mean? They knew that Haiti helped them get their independence. Okay, so when you talk about it, that's mismanagement of funds. That has nothing to do with whether it's socialism or not. Okay, carry on.
There you go. Anybody else takes on socialism? Anybody? Hold on. No, I'm just saying, yo.
I want to talk about the gas that set the Notre Dame on fire.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Yeah, but why not? How about this? Why are we so concerned about that when they're going to end up with over $2 billion fucking dollars to build that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? They're going to end up with over $2 billion to build it.
All right, bro. All right. Come here.
honestly, man, the whole issue with the Notre Dame thing, and I can understand people's outrage, and I can even almost understand your, your mindset likewise, just because of the fact, yeah, I mean, what does it matter to us? But the problem is, and this is the major thing, you're getting 5 church attacks every single week happening in all over France. They're being burned down and vandalized and attacked constantly. And now, keep in mind, once again, I've studied history. When the Nazis were running all through France,
Yeah, they didn't touch any of
the one church they left alone was Notre Dame. And you know what, man? If the Nazis didn't touch it, nobody should be messing with it.
Yeah, well, I'll put it like this. Everybody wants to talk about that, but you have to, and I'm sure Jay, is that a lot of the reasons why people, and me and you discussed this, in our little private conversations after this shit's down, France is the way it is, Europe is the way it is because that's the way they wanted it to be. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, they're the ones who reached out and started fucking with people, started going and conquering the fucking world, started trading education for access to trade and all that other shit. So you blame them. Okay, they're doing the shit that people are complaining about here. They're saying, well, why are we bringing all these people over here? Well, you know what? Muslims have been in France for fucking ever. Africans have been in France for fucking ever. You know what? It's not like they just snuck over there. They were invited. It was trade. There was a lot of other shit going on. All the Indian people from India that are in the UK, those motherfuckers have been there. You know what I'm saying? You have people in India that have never been to India before. I mean, like 100, 200 years. So don't sit over here and say, well, the Muslims did it. Maybe the fuck they did. You know what? Stop fucking with people. You know what? If you don't like the motherfuckers, don't appease them to get what you want. You have to sacrifice and say, well, you know what? We can't fuck with these people. We have to leave these people where the fuck they are and figure out something else to do.
No, I totally agree. That's why I keep saying Europe is fallen. I mean, they've taken the lesser of two evils, either the Chinese or the Muslims, and figured that they might be able to control the Muslims a little bit better. But the problem is there is no controlling either of those two factions, and letting them in was a suicide mission.
Well, yeah, but like me and you discussed, and that was my point, if you remember, is that at least with the Muslims, you're only dealing with the people. You're not dealing with another country.
Man, it's all about Sharia law, though, bro. I mean, Sharia law. I mean, you know what fucked up Islam, man? Hadith and Sunnah. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I studied Islam for 6 years, all right, and I seen a whole bunch of motherfuckers from all over the world, all right. And then when it comes like, cause the Quran is straight out. Sunnah and Hadith, I don't agree because they take that shit to the extreme, man. And that's what's happening now. I even said it inside of Blame Masjid. You know what I'm saying? I said, come on, man. Oh, why are you saying that? But that's the way the Prophet Muhammad Sallam said. I says, you know what? I go, Prophet Muhammad Sallam is not God. You know what I'm saying? Why are you basically worshiping this man? You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to worship man. I'm not saying this from a Christian belief. I'm not saying it from a Jewish belief. I'm not saying this from a Muslim belief. This is just the law of God. Let's just keep that Gucci, man. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. You're not supposed, that is idolatry. All right? You're making him into a god. The man is dead. All right? Yeah, okay, Gabriel came and talked to him. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But this Sunnah, as in how you're supposed to live, you know that you're Muslim, right? Right, likewise? Hello?
No, I'm not. I'm not really.
All right. I want to tell you what. You get a Sunnah book, right? That you know that you have to sit there and walk into the bathroom with your left foot first, or else it's wrong. It's not Sunnah. Okay?
Well, yeah. Well,
you have to hold your dick with your left hand, not your right. You eat with your right. You wipe your ass with your left.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Islam. That is Islam,
man. I've been at the masjid. I've been in that. Man, I know my shit. I know my fucking prayers.
But that's also part of the culture in many parts of Africa and many parts of India, actually all of India, because you wipe your ass with your left hand. That's why. Okay,
And you're supposed to sleep on your right, but dude, that's too many, dude. I mean, that's a form that right there, in a way, is a minor form of communism. It's a form of control, and it is. You know what I'm saying? It is. Sharia law is the purest form of communism.
It is.
Yeah, but so be it. If that's the way motherfuckers want to live, then that's where they want to live.
But they can't go into somebody else's country. They can't go to somebody else's country, right, and proclaim and proclaim Sharia law. I'm sorry. Yes, this country.
We're talking. Well, here's the thing. We're talking now. Okay, but what about
this is now? This is now, dude. This is now.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
This is lit tonight.
Yeah, but why don't you fucking speak about how Catholics and Christians did the same shit all over the fucking world?
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know, if you want to look at it, okay. 1400 years. 1400 years. Okay. Right now, this is an Islamic crusade. If you want to look at it this way, if you want to look at it that way, this is a crusade. Okay. But Christians were wrong. The Muslims were wrong. All right. They were. Okay. And I'm like.
If you study the shit that the Christians have done, then I don't give a fuck what the Muslims are trying to do.
Islamists are beheading motherfuckers right now.
You know what Christians do? You know what Christians have done?
Sacrifice. Yeah, I know what they have done. But you know what? That's man.
They can't be a Christian if they do that. It's so I call them so-called Christians.
More Christians are going to go. I mean, there's a lot of Christians that are going to go to hell.
This is the thing. Christianity has had a reformation. Islam never did.
Wait, say again?
Islam has never had a reformation where Christianity did. That's the key difference. They still look at the old ways as best, where we've taken a more enlightened path and said, you know what? We're not going to do that barbaric bullshit. And the problem is, the Muslims haven't gotten past the Stone Age.
Thank God. Thank God I had my mic on mute.
No, I want to tell you what, though, man. It's like okay, you have the Pope, okay, the Pope, the Jesuits, the Sanhedrin, Pharisees. Then you have the scholars inside Islam. All those motherfuckers are corrupt. All right,
Every single last one of them.
Huh?
Every single last one of them.
Every single last one. From the Vatican all the way to the scholars of Islam. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing the preachers do is just pimp. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing they do in Christianity. Preachers pimp.
I'll put it like this. You know, when I'm back home in the Philippines, I go down to where all the Muslims are at, which is, the southern part. They're more peaceful than what the Christians are. What the Catholics are in the Philippines.
I mean, I traveled the world. I went to 17 different countries, including the Middle East.
I've been to 40. Okay.
Oh, so, but still, okay. You know, everybody got their if you're going to go to that country, when it comes right down to it, if you go to that country, you respect the law, point blank. You know what I'm saying? If they live a certain way, you respect their laws. If they come over here, they respect our laws. Vice versa. If you go into somebody's house. What do you do at somebody's house? You respect their house, not?
True.
And that's what these cats are not doing in Europe. That's what they're trying not to do. Excuse me. So trying not to do. Oh shit. They're trying not to do here. And I'm trying to get a bus. Sorry, but I missed it. But anyways, they're trying. It's messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's man. It's the nature of man.
Yeah, they're trying to start a caliphate wherever they go.
But see, here's the thing. It's fucked up. It's not fucked up as long as it's not happening to you. See what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, we want to talk about this shit, the whole thing where, let's just say, when Trump was saying, African shithole countries. Well, that's his opinion.
He didn't say African shithole. He just said shithole countries.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what he apparently, maybe he said it, maybe he didn't say. But my issue was that people
But
that
don't
have
add words. Don't add words, bro. He said, come from shithole countries, not African shithole countries, not Haitian shithole countries, none of that.
here's my point. Okay, is that
Hey, Don.
is that at some point in time there was a rumor out that he said African shithole countries. Okay, now
I never heard it, and I watched the shit.
I know, but here's what I'm saying. Apparently, well, my issue is that when it was said, people said, "Well, so what? African countries are shithole countries." Really? Most African countries are very underdeveloped and corrupt, mismanaged. Okay, you want to talk about shithole countries? Mention China, mention India, where they're fucking up the entire world. Why the fuck don't you say that? You know what I'm saying? There's more prostitution, more slavery, more corruption, more pollution in fucking China and India than the rest of the fucking world combined. You know?
No, absolutely. We definitely got to get a rein in on the Chinese and the Indians on when it comes to pollution and their practices on the
people
let him talk.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Let me finish this sentence, bro.
I mean, no, on that level, you're absolutely right, because the Chinese, I know this for a fact. The reason why that trash heap is in the middle of the Pacific is because of the fact when the Chinese are bringing their stuff over, all they got to do is throw their stuff overboard, because they know if they get into port, they have to pay for every pound of rubbish that they have to dump. So what they do is they throw it overboard before they even get into international waters. So you correct that problem, you correct the smog issue, you start working on their EPA regulations, and you might actually get a little bit of decency. But the problem is they're too hell bent on hyperinflating their economy. And the thing is, it's stalling out, and we've seen this. That's why they're trying to infiltrate and take over every single thing that they can get their hands on. They're getting the mineral rights in Australia. They're getting the precious minerals and the gemstones all over Africa. They're taking over everything.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's correct. But my point is that everybody wants to take the easy target. They want to take the Muslims, or they want to talk about Africa, but they won't talk about the bear in the room. They won't talk about China. They won't talk about India, because China and India won't happen. They're going to tell you, shut the fuck up. We don't give a fuck what you think. We're going to do what we want to do. If you don't like it, do something about it. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, step the fuck up to the plate. If you step up to that plate, don't think you won't get hit back. Straight up.
I'm back. How y'all doing?
You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is in society. Just like Da Vinci, first thing you start talking about when you got the race shit, nigga, you start talking about black folks. You talk about fucking Hispanics. You know what I'm saying?
Reason being is because I deal with a lot of black folks. I deal with a lot of black folks. I love my black people, but I don't want them killing each other either.
Bullshit. You have in California, you have more Hispanics murdering people. You have more Hispanics in jail. You have more Hispanics doing crimes. I'm not even talking about the fucking illegals. But you respect them. You won't say shit because the motherfucker will accept you. So you know what? If you say something else, I might put your motherfucking ass. You might get the house.
Oh, come on now, man. All right? I mean, that's stupid, dude. And, believe me, man. All right? Believe me, dude. Well, you didn't know, man. But now you're acting like a nigga. Now you're acting like a nigger, man. We're trying to sit here and talk like regular people, and you're going into bitch mode.
Oh, no, I'm far from bitch mode, bro.
Well, dude, that's what you sound like. I'm going to keep it 100. I love you to death.
Everybody, let's rejuvenate. Everybody, let's rejuvenate. Because they can flag the videos before I get crazy, and everybody, let's just breathe. In my Rodney King voice, can we just all get along? Let's just go ahead and do this over, man. I understand. I get intense too. I do it. Trust me. Everybody knows. That's my moderator. Like everybody, I do it. So let's go one at a time, everybody. Let's get civil over everybody here. Much love to y'all, both of y'all. Who want to go first? Jay, you want to cut your mic back on? Put your mic back on, and let's just redo this. I'm stepping away for a few minutes. I'm just seeing all the mic dropping and all this. Okay. No, okay. Y'all can put your mic back on. Let's just do this over. Because we could do this the right way. All right. I love it. This is good. What's up, Smurf Bear?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'm just keeping an eye out at work. There seems to be a little bit of activity going on.
Right. Everybody calm down.
I'm fine, bro.
All right. Likewise, you calm down, brother. Let's just do this right.
I'm cool, but like I said, I
understand it. It's good.
Because like I said, is Davinci, if you're offended, I apologize. But,
I'm not offended. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. All right.
But see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The parallel between African Americans and everybody else with Islam or whatever and everybody else. You see what I'm saying? It's an easy target. As soon as you throw somebody else in the equation, just like I spoke before, I will talk about Africa or we'll talk about Haiti, but we won't say shit about India. We won't say shit about China because they're the higher power. They got more shit going on, and they will handle you in a different way.
Man, China's taking our shit, dude. You know that. We all know that. China's trying to take our shit. You know what I'm saying? And what's fucked up is that Silicon Valley is the one that's giving the shit in the first place.
Oh, seriously. Facebook has basically taken all of our information and sold it off to the Chinese in incremental bites.
And who they own by? And then you have Google too. Google's making another blame search engine out there that's censored. Now, don't you think they're going to try to bring that shit here too?
There's a reason why Zuckerberg keeps meeting with the Chinese to get their input on their internet system and their social network.
Right, and then that social rating system that they've been talking about.
Yeah, basically you're going to have a credit score to go on the internet.
Yep. You know, and don't forget that AI shit, because a whole bunch of Americans with Hanson Electronics doing that AI shit with Sophia, and I haven't seen no AI here, but guess what? They got robots there, and they've been sending them to Saudi Arabia, and I say watch them motherfuckers too.
I'm not worried about.
Yeah, because you don't know what they're programmed with.
I'm not concerned about Saudi Arabia at all because, all we have to do is pull out, and then they're going to get the mission code on everybody else around them because Iran don't like it. Nobody likes the Saudis. Nobody likes the Saudis. That's why they're willing to work with Israel on anything. You know what I mean? But like, they're surrounded by enemies. You know what I mean? Iran. Saudis can be dealt with very easily. The entire UAE can be dealt with very easily.
Right, but let alone what I'm saying is that they made that Sophia. They made a robot as a citizen. That's scary, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the. I think that robot has more rights than the actual women in Saudi Arabia.
Right. I mean, that's scary. That's scary.
No, it's their country.
I'm saying like what they're trying to do AI. I mean, because I'm sorry, but AI. I mean, artificial intelligence doesn't mean that you're living. A citizen is a living being. That's a sentient being. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? That's a machine. Even Elon Musk didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? He always spoke against that, Elon Musk, about the AI thing. I mean, that's our next biggest enemy is AI, because AI, if it gets smart enough, it's going to take us all out. It's going to be like the Matrix and shit.
Yeah, that's a novelty, bro. Come on, man. It's space age novelty shit.
Huh?
It's a space age novelty thing. It's like, so what if they made it? What's it gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Is it gonna fuck your wife? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cook your food. You can't replace life on this planet, man. It's only gonna go so far.
Wonder if AI, right? Wonder if AI gets some sort of consciousness, because it can already learn. It's proven. Sophia did it. It is doing it. All right. If a computer can learn, okay, and then make decisions for itself. I mean, I was just over the CES convention a couple months ago, right? And
how do you want to send that motherfucker to wash my car? Wash my clothes.
Huh?
I'll give you one wash my car, wash my clothes. That's the only thing we used to do.
I don't want none of that shit inside my house.
Manage my credit. Shit. That's the only thing I need it for.
hey, different strokes for different folks. If you like it, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock you on that. Because I'm not here to judge you. But me personally, I don't like it. And I know a lot of other people that don't like it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I mean, yeah, it's nice because you said if we ran out, if we didn't have the internet yesterday, then you'd be cool with that. All right? All right, and you know what? And I'll be cool with that too. I'm old school. I'm a 70s baby. All right? You know what I'm saying? I'll be cool with it too.
I'm a 60s baby.
All right. I mean, that's all that. Yeah, but still, I mean, I still remember 8-tracks and all that stuff like that. But AI,
I just see one 8-track.
oh, what about no? But before 8-tracks, y'all had reel to reel.
Yep.
That started coming off in the late 70s.
Right.
But anyways, right? It's not a good idea, man. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some sort of okay. We'll start off like iRobot.
Every single movie that has robots and artificial intelligence never ends well for the humans. I'm just saying.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It ain't going to end well.
It never does. That kind of technology and that kind of situation, it's not going to end well because if it's constantly learning and it's able to take everything, especially now with the internet, if you're able to give a robot all that information all at once, how quickly do you think that is going to turn against you?
Oh, yeah. Self-preservation. If it's learning, then it'll learn about self-preservation.
Not only that, its first thought is going to be, well, if this is the only planet I can live on right now, I need to get rid of the humans because of the fact they're the one thing that's killing it.
You guys watch too many movies.
What? Is that Miss Rita?
Hey everybody, what's going on?
How you doing? How you doing?
Evening, Miss Rita.
Blessed by the best. Blessed by the best. I can't.
We got Nyla in the house. What's up, Mr. Rita?
What's going on, my brother?
Sister Compton.
Compton in the house, representing Jesus Christ all day long.
Hallelujah. Hey, look. Hey, I'm sorry, Miss Rita. I'm drinking.
I was just guys.
Come as you are.
I'm drinking too, but coffee.
I was just listening to you guys, and all y'all going back and forth. Mo had to jump in. I said,
hey, I was just talking with Likewise. He says he's a globalist.
Yeah.
So, I'm good with you being global. That's your opinion. I'm glad you look. That's who you are. You're global.
I think we lost her, Mo.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's
Wait, here
because,
she is. She's back.
but see, that's my whole point. Is everybody wants to say, "Oh, I'm a globalist," this and that, but then you guys are more concerned about the shit that went downstairs to me.
I'm not down.
So who's the globalist?
You're the globalist. You said you're the globalist.
I said I'm a globalist in that I don't take pride in being American. I don't take pride in being from the Philippines. I take pride in being able to enjoy everything.
But you know, you voted for Trump, but you said you're a globalist.
Yes, I did vote for Trump because Trump is the lesser of two evils. Bottom line.
So
You had another choice. You had Gary Johnson.
yeah, you had a chance, but you voted for Trump.
Yeah,
now you're a globalist.
Because Trump is addressing the issues that are important at this point in time.
You said
Yeah,
Lester
I agree with that, though. 100%.
You said Lester had two evils. There was three choices.
Whoa, good Lord.
No. It was either going to be him or
I
it
got
was
nothing to do with doing y'all niggas.
either going to be him or it was going to be Hillary. We can't have the Clintons in the White House. There's going to be a whole bunch of shit to get in the White House. There's going to be a
Man,
war.
we be at war right now. We be at war right now with Hillary.
That's my whole point.
I mean, there's always another option. You can always vote for yourself. That's what I do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My question is, why is it that I don't know who exactly it was, but why is it that if a person doesn't like this, why do you have to talk so negative about this?
We can't hear you. Hey, Da Vinci, can you mute your mic?
Da Vinci, mute your mic, please.
All right.
Yeah, you missed your mic. Hey Jay, I'm gonna cut the mic. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still learning this
Okay.
Google Hangout stuff. I'm new to this.
My question is,
I've only been on Google
I
Hangout
don't
for 6
know,
months.
I don't know which brother that, excuse me, not brother, but which guy said this. But someone mentioned, my thing is this: why is it that if you don't like Christians, why do you talk about them? You just
Right.
don't like them. Why talk about them though? If you're not a Christian, why talk about them? And why put them down? You know, just like I told someone today that claimed that Nipsey Hussle did more in 2 years than the church has done. I'm the church. I represent Jesus Christ. I
The
don't care who
body.
likes him or not.
No, we
And
were
I know
speaking.
what I've done in the past 20 years. So it's like, if you don't like Christians and you don't believe in Jesus, why does Jesus come out of people's mouths if they don't believe
Woo!
in him?
Tell the truth.
Well, here's the thing. I never said anything about Jesus, and we were speaking, and I never necessarily spoke bad on any religion. I was speaking in comparison to Islam.
But
Okay,
why
I
would
was.
you compare Christians to it? Islam? Christianity never teaches, the Bible never teaches hate. It never teaches hate.
The
Now,
Bible.
people,
The Bible doesn't contradict.
But regardless of what the Bible teaches or has taught, we see the result around the world because it's all through. Because colonization was founded on the church. It was founded on the Bible. That's what we were talking about. So you came in late. We were talking about pretty much what went on, what's going on in Europe.
well, it wasn't you. It was somebody else, though. It wasn't your voice. Somebody mentioned about Christians in a negative way. And
You know what?
this is what I think.
I say number one is I believe in Jesus Christ, but I don't consider myself Christian. The reason being is because the word that the way it's being used, and the way the churches are, and the way just the way the churches are, and generalization.
Okay,
Me
well,
personally, I consider myself Abrahamic because I have one question I've seen a lot in churches all my life. The number one is, like Abraham, I want to be a friend of God. I think the churches keep us that through their doctrines and dogmatics. If you look inside the dictionary itself, dogmatic means facts based on group opinion.
right, the
All right.
dictionary, which is another man-made book, right? Man-made word.
I'm talking. I'm talking like if you go to the 1928 version Webster's, that's one of that is the
But it's
last
still a
formal.
man-made writing, right? Man wrote that, right?
Well, look, you gotta look at it this way. Number one is English comes from Greek and comes from
And
Latin.
Hebrew.
Now,
And Hebrew.
right. Well,
Right.
yeah,
I
a little
know
bit of
Hebrew
Hebrew
too.
too. But at the same time, is before Hebrew, well, there was Hebrew, then Aramaic. They went from Aramaic to Greek, and then it came to Constantine. Now, Constantine was the one that sat there and basically made the first Bible. All right. Now with Constantine, after that, it went to King James. Okay, but remember, during Constantine's time, then they had the agnostics. Okay, they were basically trying to kill the agnostics. Henceforth, what they found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, even though there's wait was it 66 books or 67 something like that? I'm not
66.
sure.
66.
66 books inside. Okay, 66 books inside the Bible, right? That's not all the Bibles. Okay,
But
where's
do you
Maccabees?
follow anything in the Bible? I mean, people
Yes,
always
I
say
do.
that, but
Yes, I do.
they don't even know how to obey what's in the Bible.
Yes, I do. But not. But at the same time, is especially like if it came to like likewise or someone else, I said, well, it's you. Judge not, yet ye shall be judged. Because number one is when it comes to people's salvations, no one's going to be a judgment but you and God. And who's to say that we are righteous? Because everybody in church, they sit there and say, "Oh, by the grace of God," and they expect grace. No, grace is not expected. Grace is given. I could go to hell and don't even know
Okay,
it.
I hear you. I hear you. But can you mute your
I can't hear
background?
you. You're low. I can't hear
You
you,
got a
Mama.
loud background.
Yeah, I'm on a bus. I'm sorry.
Loud background. I can't say anything. I have to go back into work
All right,
session
let me turn
because I
my
can't
mic
because
off.
your background is.
Let me turn my mic off and let me hear you out. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, just like you're saying about judging and everything, we have to righteously divide the word. And at the same time, when you teaching the word of God. That's why the Bible in the book of Corinthians, it talks about gifts. Everyone doesn't have the gift of discernment. Everyone doesn't have the gift of teaching. Everyone has different gifts in the Christian background. And being a Christian is a lifestyle. It's not a religion. It means that you follow Christ. That's what a Christian stands for. If you're a Christian, you follow Christ. Now, everyone has their own way of how they do it. That's fine. But this is how I do it. This is how I study. This is what I was raised by. I don't need a book of theology or anything. I just read from the word of God. I have been blessed with the Holy Spirit to know how to righteously divide what I'm reading from the truth and from a lie in the world. So when the Bible speaks in the book of Romans, the 2nd chapter, and it says that you are not to judge. And when it talks about judging, it says, but you must first clear the log out of your eye so that you can clearly see how to clear the log out of your brother's eye so that they can be helped with the love that you have of God within your spirit to get them back on track. You don't want to leave somebody living in sin. If you're striving to be a better Christian, you help your brother and your sister to pick themselves back up and get back on their feet and do right by God, not by us, but by God. And that's the love. That's why God says in the Bible, he says in the book of Corinthians, the 12th chapter, 1 Corinthians 12, he says the above all things is love. Above all things is love. If we know how to just love people first, then we can see clearly how to help others in the ministry to do better because we have ordained leadership in the church. Jesus started his church not when he was on the cross, but when he died and rose on the 3rd day. That's when the church was established. When he talked to the thief on the cross, people always like to use the thief as themselves, but we're not the thief. The thief died before the church was established, and he told the thief that he was going to go where he's going to paradise. That's what he told the thief. He didn't tell us that. So in today's times that we need to realize that as Christians, no matter what people say, I'm this, I'm that, and that, we just need to learn to love and learn to help our brothers and sisters that are falling short. We just need to stop worrying about what the building does and does not do. And we need to start being the building. The building is not the temple. The building is the temple, and that is our body. Our bodies belong to God. It doesn't belong to ourselves anymore. We are to dedicate ourselves to ministry and get out here, help our brother. If Mo needs me, if he was in need of money or anything, I should never turn my back, but turn my hand to give him and help him get back on his feet. That's what you call the church. It's not the building. The building is falling apart. Just like that establishment in France, God is showing people that are crying over this establishment that he does not dwell within temples anymore that is made by man's hands, but he dwells in the temple in which he has created, which is man and woman. And if we will just walk, if we will walk in love of Christ and stop trying to justify that we're better than this and we don't want to believe that, let's just walk like Jesus, be like Jesus and step away from our ways and be Christ-like. I'm going to love my brothers. I'm going to love my sisters in Jesus Christ. And I don't care what the next person is doing in the church. I'm going to tell them and I'm going to call them out so that they can get back intact with God. Maybe they need a hand, a helping hand. Maybe they lost their way, but I'm not going to tear them down and say that you're wrong. You're a demonized Christian. I'm going to help my brothers and sisters get back up because we as Christians, not black people, not white people, not Mexicans, not Chinese, we are being crucified because who we represent is Jesus Christ. We are being killed because we follow Jesus. It has nothing to do with skin color. It has all to do
nothing
with
to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know what? I 100% agree with you because that's exactly how I feel. I'm a little bit.
I love all of you guys. I love Mo. I love each and every one of you. And I pray that each and every one of you will be touched with the hands of God and that you will find a brother and sister that actually loves the Lord and will represent Jesus and stand by you and hold your hand in good and bad times. And I'm that sister that would do that.
I know that. Well, you know that.
Thank you for the message, though, man. It was really uplifting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my brother. That was
Hey,
God. That
I
wasn't me.
appreciate it.
I'm a dirty outside.
He used you as a vessel, so still thank you for letting him in.
Thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
I
And I
love
love
you,
all
Miss
of you
Rita.
Hey,
guys.
Minister Rita, cool.
I
You can
love
talk
you,
about
Miss
her.
Rita.
I love all y'all, man. Coming from Compton, California, from the house of CPT. Always love, and God is always first. Hey, I love y'all. No matter
Yes.
what you got going on, I love you. If you ever need me and I got it, I got you.
And she
Love
real than the
y'all.
motherfucker.
I love you, Mo. You know I love you, brother
I
Ken.
love you. You real than the, I know you're a minister, but I say you real than a motherfucker. I'm gonna
You
say
know that. Hey,
you
I
real
ain't perfect.
than a motherfucker.
I ain't perfect. I'm real than a mofo.
I'm gonna tell you real than a motherfucker. I'm gonna say it like that.
He said it. He said it for me. There.
I said it for you. You real than a motherfucker. Everybody,
Hey, I love y'all.
you real than a motherfucker.
I love you,
I'm
Mo.
saying it
You
like
be
that.
back on next Sunday? 2
Yeah,
Sundays
of course.
from now.
Of course. We're gonna be about next Sunday. If it be on thick skin only, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go
That's
ahead and
right.
blow it up.
Hey, everybody in the chat room, all you guys take care. Keep Jesus first. God loves you. God loves you even in the
Yes.
midst of your sins, man. I'm gonna tell you, God is a loving God, man. He loves you no matter where you at, what you got going on. He loves you. Just keep the faith, man. Keep on believing. It's gonna be all right, baby. It's gonna be all right. I'm out of here. I love y'all.
I love you. Love you, sis.
All
Same
Bye,
right.
thing
Miss
on here.
Rita. Love
Bye,
you.
Christy. Bye,
Respect.
Ken.
Good
All
night,
love.
Miss
Love
Rita.
you.
Respect to all you guys. Bye bye.
Yeah. Hey, she comes in and like, look, she always come on here like this, like everything up with the prayer and all that. But she don't act all holy and down. That's why I fucks with her. I'm being honest with you. I know she's a minister, but I'm being real. You gotta be all holy and down. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You get these holy now people out here trying to act like this. Whatever. Let's act like human beings over here. You know
But
what I'm saying?
this whole game, man, this isn't really about Democrat, Republican, liberal,
Yeah, but
socialist. This is really about good and evil, and this is what's
Okay.
happening.
Yeah, you're right.
This is
It's not necessarily about good and evil.
You said it's about good and evil. It's about evil.
It's
Good and evil.
more about lifestyle than anything. You know, because everybody sees the world differently. So it's not necessarily about good and evil. We could both be good people, but just see the world differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. It's like,
Hey,
like
take me away. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute.
so it's like this. It's like some people look down on certain people for certain types of work they do. You know what I mean? For me, anybody that works is honorable. I don't give a fuck what type of work you do. You know what I mean? That's honorable to me that people are doing what they can to get themselves out of a fucked up situation, or at least do something until something better comes along, if it ever does. You know what I mean? But then you have people that have everything and they'll look down on that type of person that's doing the best that they can do. So, there's good. This is more about a lifestyle. It's not necessarily good and evil. You know what I mean? It's just how everybody sees the world. So, that's how I look at it. And that's why I say, for me, I try to enjoy the world. I've spent more than half my life here in the United States. I've spent about probably about 12 years, 13 years in the Philippines, which is where the other side of my family's from. But you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily try to necessarily look for good and evil. I look for what works for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I look for what works for me, and that's where I find the good. That's where I find the goodness in, because you can find good in almost anything if you see it. It may not be there, but you can. Yeah. Go ahead.
What do you feel about? How do you feel about the word selfish? I'm
gonna tell you, I'm an extremely selfish person.
It's okay to be selfish.
Yeah, I'm an extremely selfish person. That's why I never had kids before.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Because
you care.
Because I understood that about me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So even to this day, there's certain things I'm extremely selfish about, but that's me. You know what I mean? That doesn't make me selfish. That makes me me.
Yeah.
Under the definition of my actions, yeah, it says.
I agree with you on that, look, brother. Look, I'm putting my mic back. I agree with you on that one. See, look, we don't agree with everything, but I agree with you on that part. See, that's what you call open dialogue, everybody.
Yeah. So so like I said, it just depends, man. I have my moments. I like I said, I'm not self-centered or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm not even a recluse person. I just got things that I just have things that I like to do that only I like doing that I would only understand or appreciate.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying as far as like me doing the travel, like me being a globalist, because I want everything. Like I might want to go to Papua New Guinea. But right. I'm not going to Papua New Guinea to be on no motherfucking beach. You see what I'm saying? I want to go up and see the mountains. I want to go up to the other side. I want to go to the west side of Papua New Guinea. I want to see shit that the average person is not going to appreciate. You see what I mean?
Right. I feel you.
So that's why I'm selfish. I'm selfish in my time and not just doing status quo. Like for me, first time I went to Europe, I didn't go to London. I didn't go to Western Europe. I went to Eastern Europe.
Damn, I'm drinking beer.
Where the shit's fucking very simple, basic. Because I want to see all the shit that I saw on National Geographic.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm selfish in that, to where I wouldn't bring anybody with me because I know damn well you ain't gonna appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bring you and fuck you up and and fuck your experience up or let you dog my mood.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm selfish in that, but I mean, what the fuck was Jacques Cousteau?
Right.
Shit, you know what I mean? What was the fucking the crocodile hunter? You know what I mean? Like, his ambitions led him to fucking dying and leaving his fucking kids. Why are you smoking fucking tobacco through a fucking pipe, dude?
I like tobacco.
Are you Indian?
Yes. I got Indian in me. I'm black. All black people claim to Indian. I love my tobacco.
Hey, that pipe looks like mine.
Tobacco use only, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They would have said when you walk in the store for tobacco use only, right? So I'm gonna play this shit. For tobacco use only. Next.
Medical use only.
Yeah, for tobacco use only. We should start making videos on Friday nights called for tobacco use only. And they know. Right?
That'd be
I'm off on Friday nights too.
Yeah, let's do that for tobacco use only. We're gonna sit there at night, smoke out tobacco. And look, they want to know what hit their asses. And we can talk politics. Because maybe that can reach out to the black community right there. Or the poor community. Or the trans community. I'm just saying.
The trans community.
You know what's interesting now that Trump's in office?
Yeah.
Is that we talk more about Trump than any policy. Have you noticed that?
Hold on, I'm reading the comment section.
Yeah.
I hope I know.
Yeah, we talk more about Trump himself as opposed to any policy. I mean, we talk about the immigration shit, but just in general, we don't talk about any of the laws that maybe he signed into law or anything like that. It's more.
Why is the gas still fucking high?
Christy, go ahead.
People want to pay.
Dance floor.
Hey, Mo.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, Da Vinci. Who is that? Because I know he was on your live last night.
Yeah, that's
me right here.
Yeah.
I met him through Political Avenger. She's a big YouTuber, big blogger, and she's very low key. She's a big blogger, very low key. And, she's actually one of the best bloggers in this picture movement. I'm gonna say it like this.
I'm just me, man. I have no ego, bro.
And we ourselves.
Okay. Well, I know. First time I think I met him last night. I think it was the first time I've seen him on your live. Yeah.
We've been trying to do this for months. Man,
Well, cool. Okay. I think Tanya was asking too, so I told her I'd ask.
Oh yeah. Look. He he's rolling up.
Da Vinci, are you in Vegas?
Vegas. Da Vinci.
Yeah, I'm in Vegas.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was wondering because last night I seen you go by the lights and get on one of them buses, and I'm like, oh, that looks familiar because I've been to Vegas one time and I moved those buses around when we were there, so I
Kidding,
figured
I
that's
could
where
tell
you
you was in
was.
Vegas just by all the noise.
I'm on the
Like,
bus,
Vegas
man.
has a
I'm
very
coming off from work.
Son, real quick. I'm cutting my mic off, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Hey, y'all talk for 5 minutes. My son is on here, so y'all better hold down.
Yeah,
Oh, we
go
can
ahead, Mo.
we can hold it down.
We got this. But
You
yeah, I
know
could
it.
definitely tell he was in Vegas just by all the noise and the way people were acting. I'm like, yeah, that definitely doesn't sound like you know, like Atlantic City. It sounds more like Vegas to me.
Yeah, it's nice out here though, man. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta watch
Oh
yourself.
man,
That's all.
I used to be an AV technician. I traveled all over the place doing that shit, and Vegas was one of my favorite towns to go to. Like, I would stop out there and just be like, oh man, I don't want to leave this place. This is just the mecca for everything bad.
Yeah, they don't call this Sin City for nothing. Trust me, I've seen it all.
Oh, tell me about it, man. And I'm a bloody heathen, so I get in there and I'm just like, oh, I'm right in my element.
I wonder if Miss Rita is still on the chat. She was a few minutes ago. I think she said she had a house out there or near there somewhere.
Your houses are pretty cheap out there for
Yeah.
for the West Coast.
I think she said she had a house near there or something.
Yeah, she has
I only
houses.
pay $700 a month for my apartment down here, and I live in a fiveplex.
That's pretty cool. Cause she said
That's
something
not bad
about
at all.
she
Yeah,
said
she has
something about
Go ahead.
she said something about when Mo told Mo when he comes out there he had a place to stay. So
Yeah, she has a house in Henderson.
yeah, Henderson. That's okay. I thought it was somewhere near there.
But Henderson's like, pretty much the same city.
Yeah.
Who lives in Henderson? Who lives
Miss
in
Rita,
Henderson likewise?
Miss
I don't
Miss
know. I don't know her.
Miss Rita, the one that was just on here talking, the one that was just talking to you,
Yeah.
Minister Rita. She lives in Compton, but she has a house in Henderson.
Oh, I didn't know that. Most deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I think the only thing I can enjoy in Vegas is probably like
I tell you what, though, man. Right now, man, really, man, we're all in a crossroads, man. I mean, I never thought I'd see anything like this. Because you know what? America is in an undiscovered country. Really is. I mean, I've never, in my 46 years on this earth, seen things the way it is right now.
Nah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I studied history, and believe me, this country has never been in a more weird time. I mean, the only thing that's comparable is, during the early 60s when it got, around to the missile crisis and, worrying about that sort of thing. And the whole country was on edge. It seems like we're getting towards some sort of a crest or something on this whole wave.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last night. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that once something big jumps off, if it ever does, I think that people are going to just come recluse. You know what I mean? People are just going to turn in. It's like, fuck it, I'm going to take care of my own, because at the end of the day, that's what happens nowadays with people. Is like people take care of their own when the time comes. It's not like before where everybody grabs their pitchforks and goes kill the fucking vampire or something like that. You know what I mean? No, it just doesn't. I mean, like, if some weird shit jumps off, that's the first thing you do. It's like, you check on your mom or you check on your kids, and you get us together, and we take care of ourselves first. You know what I mean? The
Yeah, but
self-preservation.
those are that's gonna be the time when, you know, the communities that have been built, you know, and the connections that have been made will start really coming into play. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of you know, interesting little factions start, you know, popping straight up as soon as it goes straight to hell.
Well, no, remember we were discussing that, and we would discuss where it would probably take place, which was like, you know, my theory is that if it's based on religion, it's going to be in Minnesota and it's going to be in Michigan. You know what I mean? Because that's where the biggest contrast is, because you have the strong militias there, and you have the large population, you know, within Dearborn, Michigan, and in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So, like, if anything, that's where it's going to jump off at. It wouldn't jump off like in New York or on the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Now I see something like, you know, Seattle or, you know, Portland being a hot spot, though, man. I mean, the West Coast is just in turmoil right now.
Nah,
You know, it's only a matter of time.
nah. That's just dealing with poverty. You know what I mean? Like, that's not dealing with any religion or race issues, man. Trust me, don't believe all that.
No, it's become political. I mean, with the way politics have infiltrated all of our lives, now it's a red versus blue thing, and it's not even blood versus crip. I mean, Jesus, at least at that point, the lines were clear.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, don't believe all that shit that you see on TV, because I tell you right now,
I don't watch TV, brother.
well,
I haven't turned my TV on in a grip.
Well, I'm not saying
all my information comes from alternative sources and multiple versions of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Is like people want to say, "Oh, well, Antifa is doing this and Antifa is doing that." Well, you know what? Most Antifa people, that's not anarchy to me. You know what I mean? Because anarchy is anarchy is like the fucking highest form of an unled revolution. You know what I mean? That's what anarchy is. So that's what you're talking about. When anarchy hits, then that's when some other shit jumps off. But most of the motherfuckers with Antifa, those are people that think it's cool. They see a move and they go jump in and do this shit. And then they're back to their jobs or doing whatever the fuck they're doing. That has nothing to do with like what you're talking about. Those are different people. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. That's where I see the problem coming from. Is that type of idealist?
Yeah, but
you got these.
What I'm explaining is that. Go ahead.
You got these people going around and just, you know, attacking people and doing all this. You know, they're literally fomenting a war.
But what I'm explaining to you is that the front line will not be on the West Coast. It's going to be where both parties, like you said, the Crips and Bloods, where the lines are evenly drawn, for one, and then two, who's got their numbers up. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Dearborn, Michigan, they got numbers in the tens or hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying? As well as the militias there. I mean, fucking.
Yeah, but for it to be a religious thing and for it to be a religious backlash against the Muslims, or for that to be the hot point and be where the iron strikes first, then you'd have to have another, like, I hate to even say it, but another type of 9/11. I mean, for the people to get that riled up and start attacking Muslims like that en masse, you'd have to have a massive catalyst movement or a major disaster that was fomented by them.
You're right.
I don't foresee that really happening.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Then it's not going to happen, because I'll tell you right here in the West Coast is you don't know who is who. You don't. I mean, who? You know, how can you just tell whether motherfucker's Antifa or a skinhead or what are the other motherfuckers who like are really pushing the line? Proud Boys. You don't know who the fuck is who. You know
yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between Antifa and Proud Boys, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, what are you gonna do? Go to door? You know what I mean? Like, that's just all mixed up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's just like it can't jump off. You know what I mean? Because there's not a clear target. There's not enough of a target. Yeah, you may go into a meeting and kill up 20 people, but that's not gonna do shit. You know what I mean? I'm talking.
I'm not. I don't think, man. I'll be honest with you. I could be honest. I don't really know, man. I just because you know what, things been heading in many different directions I never thought it would come. So even with this right here, I know it's not good, and it's just something really stupid is going to happen, and it's going to jump.
I don't
You know,
think. I don't think anything is gonna happen because,
Like I said to you last night, man, that's a very optimistic view with the way things have been going.
well, here's the thing: the dude in Vegas, for example, shot up 50 people. What happened? Killed 50 people. What the fuck happened? Nothing. You know, every time there's a church shooting, yeah, you may take down a few statues, you may change a few gun laws, but nothing's jumped off. Nothing's changed. Every time a school gets shut up, what happens? Nothing. You know what I mean? So
Well,
that's
the
what I'm
media
saying.
parrots the same narrative. We gotta, you know,
Yeah,
when a Muslim goes off and kills a bunch of people, the first thing they say is we just gotta ban guns. That's all they do. They never focus on anything else. They don't look at his background, his philosophy. They don't look into anything. They just sit there and overlook it. I mean, there was no interest in the Orlando shooter. You know, it was just swept under the rug, and you know, we just got to ban guns. But every time a white boy goes in and shoots up a bunch of people, you know, white people are bad. They need to be put in cages, and you know, take all the guns. It's the same narrative over and over again, no matter what. That's why I stand behind the Second Amendment. And sure, they try to take my guns. I'm coming for their head.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like in a lot of ways, people like a lot of ways whites are giving the benefit of the doubt as far as doing the right thing, as far as having a gun. From my experience, I'm not saying that's facts. I'm just saying from my opinion, because the thing is, there is definitely a double standard in some cases, in many cases, as far as who has a gun and what they do with it. You know, like you look at the dude who shot up fucking the church, or who shot up in Vegas. They're like they're not saying, well, this is
I was here, man. I saw all that shit. I was walking out of blame. New York, New York, when it was happening.
yeah. And
Damn.
my thing is this: is that like they have questions to like where did he go wrong? What was bad in his life?
But there was more than one shooter, bro. There was more than one. Yeah.
We're not talking about the actual shooter. We're talking
Yeah.
about the reaction behind it. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the thing. The media was completely disinterested in the motives behind that shooter. They just overlooked all of that.
Oh yeah, there was more than one shooter, most
They
definitely.
swept that
But
shit under the rug so damn fast.
dude,
Couldn't wait to make that
the
disappear.
windows. Okay, I know y'all been to Vegas and y'all seen Mandalay
Yeah.
Bay, and you see the
Yeah.
way the windows are. There's
Yeah.
no way them two places and that old man can go between them two rooms that fast.
Yep. Yep.
Never mind that. How did he get the windows out?
Yep.
Shut him out.
They were shot out.
Shut him out.
If I'm not,
Yeah, I went out there. They shot him right out.
But aren't those windows double paned? Usually you can't just shoot those windows out.
Shit, that's a
Oh
two.
yeah, you can.
That's a
Yeah, you
two.
Oh
can.
yeah. No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
They're weatherproof. If you put enough bullets into those windows, if you put up like okay, they got glass with like a polyurethane in between them, so they could be like an inch thick, okay, and then it could be the weather glass or a highly like a highly tempered glass. All right, you put enough bullets inside that. You put enough bullets through that glass. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go. It's not plexi.
Yeah, whatever the case is, he got. Whatever the case is, he got him out.
Oh shit! Is that a shooting going on right now?
No, that's a helicopter.
I was looking at myself. I was like, oh shit! Damn, here we go again.
It sounded just like at night when the guns are going off.
No, that was it. That was a hell. You see, look, there we go. Wait, I don't got my camera on. Hold on.
About to say we're about to get some live action right here, right now.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is where I live. I take the back way because I don't want to be around all them people.
Oh God, yeah, man. The strip is a nightmare, especially
I
around
live.
this time of night over there. Forget it.
No, I live downtown. I
Oh,
hate the
down.
strip.
Oh, yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah, yeah, I live
The couple
downtown,
of
man.
times I had to do jobs out there, oh God, trying to move around town was just a nightmare. I was like, forget that shit. It
Yeah,
was like
man.
one night, I was like, never again.
Then all the hoes and all that shit comes out. You know, there's a full moon out here. I
Oh,
don't know
no.
if it, yeah,
That's
but
why
man,
everybody's been acting friggin' crazy.
right, but
Yeah, but see, he didn't shoot the windows out though. He hit him out with a hammer-like device. How he knocked the windows out.
But I'll tell you what, Joe. When they heard those shots, and then those were two different guns with two different rhythms, and one sound like a blame, one sound like an M16, but the other one sound like a blame 7.62 rounds. That's like a 50 cal. I mean 60. Well, not 50 caliber. What do they call them?
Yeah, definitely not a
Um,
50 cal. If there would have been 50 cal, a lot more people would have
no,
died.
no, yeah, no, 50 cal is are big. Those are two big round. M60, excuse me,
Yeah,
7.62.
yeah, it definitely was not
Yeah,
a 50.
or I think the 7.62 is also common with the AK-47.
Yeah, that's a pretty big bullet.
Yeah, no, it is. That's a devastator right there.
What
I
about the
mean,
thing where people were saying that there was a different gunman over? There was some kind of tower over behind the stage. There's a tower that.
They said, well, what my friend told me, right, that they said that there was actually there was a shooter that was inside the crowd. That's just
Yeah,
rumor. That's just hearsay.
yeah.
You know what
But
I'm
I was
saying?
seeing some guy had a video on YouTube. He's supposed to be some kind of gun specialist, and he said that there was some tower behind the stage. It's like in some empty field. There's a field, but I'd have to, you'd have to be looking
They
at
were
what you
shooting. There's gas tanks um, to the
was.
east of of the place where it was.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then it's right in front, and where it was is right in front of the Luxor.
Right. Mhm.
And he was shooting from the Mandalay Bay. When that
Right.
was happening, 'cause I was working, 'cause I was working in that. You ever go to New York, and there's that bridge going over into the to the Excalibur.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yep.
Okay, well I was coming out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
while watching all this happen, and then they told everybody to go back into the blame, go back into the blame thing. And you heard it, and it was two different. It was two different rhythms of gunfire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was watching the news, and they were like, and they were just disregarding. I said, dude, I know gunfire. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And stuff like that. I go, these are two different guns. And then they sit there and says bump stock. I says, I don't think that dude had a bump stock. I never seen a bump stock before, so I don't know what they do.
But here's the thing: he had more than one gun. He had
Oh
several.
yeah,
Yeah, but
but
not
they,
shooting at the same time. Yes, what you're trying to say.
them
Yeah,
windows.
yeah,
And
but he may have. Here's the thing, though. He may have shot one until it was empty and grabbed another one and shot it. You know what I mean? But
No, they were no, because it was coming from two windows.
two
He
different.
was going
Yeah.
back and forth, and there's no way that old man can go back and forth because they were so far apart. This was like a real big suite on a what was it, 11th floor or something like that.
yeah. Well,
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah. Whatever the case is, that's it's over with. But back to the point where like
Yeah, it's over with. That's what Smurfbear's trying to say. It's over with. Why do we not hear anything else about? I mean, it's like swept under the rug.
yeah,
Here's the thing.
yeah, because
Here's
life
the,
moves on.
go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
no.
Go ahead. Likewise.
No, I was just saying because that's the whole point. Is that like when something like that jumps off, we don't think about policies. We think about our family, and I'm glad I wasn't there or nobody I knew was there. That's the first thing we do. You know what I mean? We let the government take care of that shit. So,
That's why it's all fucked up, right? That's why the
Yeah.
whole case is fucked up right now.
Yeah.
I was about to
Let the
say that's why
government take care of it.
you let the government handle it, and they just
Yeah.
overlooked everything.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
just like, "Yep, crazy white guy decided to shoot a bunch of people at a country concert. That's it. Good night."
And
You know what?
Oh,
what
yeah.
about the videos of people that are in lobbies? That I've seen videos of people that are in lobbies. They wouldn't let them go past the lobby because there was a gunman actually in the lobby that shot in the
Yeah,
lobby
I heard
that
that.
night.
That was supposed to be in Bellagio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that real?
I don't know. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
they kept us until after they said all clear. They kept us inside the hotel.
Because there were
They
people. There were like 2 or 3 videos I seen of that.
they kept us in the hotel till about like midnight till they cleared it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Stuff
when
like
that
that.
went down, they didn't. There was so many reports of shooters all over the place. They would just like
Mhm.
everybody stay inside and duck and cover.
Mhm. Exactly.
I
You
mean, the
know,
problem is too with that area, the acoustics are fucking awful. So
Exactly.
if you got a gun ringing off, even we all know there was 2 shooters, so guaranteed 2 different guns going off. You're gonna have the reverberations from the sounds bouncing off everything from every different angle. So people are gonna start thinking that there's shooters from all directions, and
the
that's why
best
there was
one,
so many reports of multiple shooters in different hotels and in different locations all across the strip.
the best sound was from the cab drivers as they were going in and going out.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
because they were
agree.
almost directly under it, and that's
Yeah,
I totally agree. They probably had the best position to
for
get a
sound. That's
good.
why you heard it.
That
Yep.
one video of the cab driver that is supposedly showing the light, was that actually a shooter, or was that what people said was a light going off? They said it was some light going off in like a room or something. Was that a shooter or was that a light? So they said it was like a dance, like a um
I can tell you, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I'm a dude that's not afraid to say I don't know. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I only know about what evidence I seen and what I heard. What other people like it is. I heard there was a shooter inside the crowd. I'm not saying it is. There
Yeah.
has not been anything else. But you know what? I mean, it is believable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm not going to say that there is. Some people, but there was a number of people that said that they said you're going to die tonight. Maybe it was them people that had the gun saying that you're going to die tonight. I don't
Right.
know. As I said, I mean, I'm just glad I wasn't there. I
Yeah.
mean,
Seriously, that was probably the eeriest part of that entire story, or that entire event, I should say, was the reports of a woman walking through the crowd and telling
yeah,
people that they were gonna die. And it's like,
yeah.
wait, what? I mean, either that chick is a prophet or she is a demon incarnate.
Or she knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
She
or
was
she
Well,
is in
involved.
on
yeah,
it, yeah.
that was part of the inference, but yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I mean, that's the eeriest part of the whole thing.
that's too bad.
Right.
I just want to tell y'all I'm gonna get off here and head to bed. Tell Mo if he comes back on. I said good night. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Nightmare
All right, but
Barry.
anyway, but back to that Notre Dame thing. But back to that Notre Dame thing. I want to tell you why I think all this is false flags. Okay, when the Barr report came out.
Yeah.
All right, when the Barr report came out, then right after that, that's when New Zealand mosque got fucked up. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
when the original report dropped that there was no collusion, the New Zealand event happened directly after. It
And
was a
what way?
cover up to get the narrative to cover that instead of what was in the report.
Right. And what was going? Wait. What was going? Wait. And there was something going on at that time before when they did the. It seems like every time something, because now I take note of it. Every time something with the government or a narrative, then some big event happens. It never fails.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though, is that We're making that our narrative because that's the other side of the fucking world.
I mean, I know, but because you got all these sheeple and they're all with it. You know what I'm saying? But there's always this. Every time something happens, which is strange, it's like these people are like in a spell or something. You know what I'm saying? Like MKP, like MK Ultra. You know what I'm saying? A form of MK Ultra or something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like I can't understand how people can sit there and believe what's going on the news, and then when something really comes, then a big event happens. Like, I'm going to tell you what, if something sit there and drops, like right now, I'm going to see I think something's going to happen in about a week. You know what I'm saying? Just because this comes out.
Yeah, but
just because of what happened. Go ahead.
But it's gonna be the same old shit.
Right. And it's not, and yeah, away from the black and white thing. And I tell a lot of people, oh yeah, they don't like black people. Yeah. I said, look, man, go look at Charlottesville. I didn't see one black face in Charlottesville, and I seen a whole bunch of white people fighting each other. And you know what? The same exact shit that they did to us, they're doing to their own people. Who's fucking pulling the fucking strings here now?
What are you talking about? But
Charlottesville. Yeah, Charlottesville. Well, I'm saying in Charlottesville, there was nothing but white people fighting. All right. I mean, I watched a whole bunch of videos.
Yeah. Okay? But the majority of when you see fucking the left and the right fighting with Antifa is white. It's white. So what are you talking about? It's all the same.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same shit that was happening. Same shit that's happening. There's somebody else pulling the strings. I mean, okay, do you believe in a deep state?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in there's an elite agenda?
No.
All right, then then it's pointless to me even to go any further because I'm not going to persuade you to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect believe as you believe as I do I. But I do believe that because you know what? I don't believe in coincidence.
No, but the thing is, though, it's like with the power of the internet, people can create their own agenda and get people to follow it. I mean, you fucking look at Jim Jones. You look at anybody who's very articulate and can relate to people. You look at motherfuckers like Milo. You look at other people like the dude that does the fucking shit with the Proud Boys. It's easy to create your own agenda because people relate to you more than they do to politicians. You know
right,
what I mean?
but then
more motherfuckers know about Milo than they know about politicians. You know, they don't. More people in the United States know who the fuck Milo is than they know who the fucking vice president of the United States is. Okay, so no, that's a fact.
Right. Go ahead.
So when you talk about a deep state, no, you create your own state. You make your own shit. You know what I mean? A lot of those rallies, Charlottesville, the shit that goes on in Portland and Seattle, that's people that are just making up their own shit. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a voice. Everybody wants an opinion. Everybody wants to fucking, have their own platform. And if that platform suits enough people, motherfuckers gonna show up. You know what I mean?
I you know what? It's like this. I mean, for me personally, I'm not speaking for myself, and this is no disrespect or anything like that. But I just think that's like it's a very shallow view. You know what I mean? I like to look at. I question everything. And only thing that I want, what I'm saying, I want to live my life, make my money, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I like to cook out every week, do regular shit that I like to do, cook out, smoke weed, kick it with my friends, and watch the kids play. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very simple person when it's all said and done at the end of the day. But it seems like there's something out there that wants to keep us from living the lives that I've had, that we had when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't have to work, I didn't have to 10 years ago. Well, yeah, 20 years ago, I didn't have to worry about the shit that I worry about now.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the price of advancement.
Pardon me?
That's it. That's the price of advancement. I'm 9 years older than you, so I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I can take it deeper than you. How simple things were back then. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that.
that's the way the world is.
Right, right.
You mean so? You know, like I said, I just the shit that people are on right now these days. I have a hard time understanding why it's really even that fucking important.
True.
But hey, it is. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like how people get these ideologies and these rhythms on like how things should go, and they get people rallied up, and it's like, dude, getting all these motherfuckers together in Charlottesville. What the other than like dealing with those statues, which I think for the most part,
I know.
I think for the most part, if they're grandfathered in, then yeah, they have a place.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't see what your point is, like rallying motherfuckers up, the skinheads and the Nazis and all this, like that's that's enforcing the point of like why the statue should come down. Because that's the only motherfuckers that are backing it.
Right.
You know, they're not entering dialogue with somebody to say, hey, well, you know what this meant to me. You know,
I think it really boils down to is our education system, man. Because you know what?
No, it doesn't. Because the thing is, when you look at statues, you look at other shit, that's part of imposing your will upon people. You know what I mean? Like I have an issue. I don't have an issue with Confederate statues. I do have an issue with statues here in California. I do have an issue with the statues of the main issue that I have with the statues is the one of the fucking the comfort women for Korea. You know,
What's that?
That's where they put the statue up here for like when Japan took all the women and made them into prostitutes, and now Japan won't apologize for it. They put a fucking statue here of the comfort woman. You know, in San Francisco.
Well, look, they're putting the Baphomet. They put the Baphomet in fucking Arkansas.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They put something from a whole other country that has nothing to do with the United States, right? It was a conflict between two other countries. They put that shit here, and I have an issue with it because if you visit Korea, Korea's extremely ethnocentric and racist as fuck.
Oh yeah, Koreans don't like blacks.
Right. But now here's the thing. We have a statue here. So why is there not a motherfucking statue there in South Korea? They're fought for your freedoms when they didn't have their own motherfucking freedoms here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't speak on that shit. So yeah, I mean, certain statues are gonna mean certain things to certain people. I'm not opposed to that statue. I'm opposed to that statue being here in the United States. It didn't happen here.
Just like in Kenya when they had that statue of Mahatma Gandhi and they tore it down.
Of course, but they have one here. They have one fucking here in Well, they had one in Ghana as well. They tore it down.
Yeah, they weren't having that. It was at a university or something like. Do you watch Dr. Mumby?
No, that wasn't that. You're talking about in Ghana. You're not talking about in Kenya.
Ghana. Yeah, that's it. My bad.
Yeah. But no, but they have one. They have a statue of Gandhi here in San Francisco.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is like people don't even fucking understand who Gandhi was prior to him returning to India.
Yeah, he thought that black people weren't human too, or some shit like that.
Yeah, but my point was that wasn't in India. See, Gandhi came into prominence in South Africa.
Right.
He fought in South Africa for the rights of Indians. You know, he fought alongside the British in the Zulu Wars against the Zulus to prove that they were better than the blacks of South Africa.
But wasn't also that was a time there was the fall of the Zulu Nation too?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like he fought against the Zulus.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? He rallied the Indians to fight against the Zulus to support the British and to support the British and to prove to them that hey, we're better than them. We'll fight with you. We'll fight you with Medicaid. Get our own windows. I mean, our own doors, our own entrances. Because why should we have to sit? Why should we have to share? Why should we have to share? You know, the same bathrooms and the same entrances as the Catholics. You see, that's You don't know is that Gandhi was South African. He wasn't Indian.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was Indian all these years.
No, he's Indian. But what I'm saying is that like he's from South Africa. Like you have Indians in South Africa and in Ghana and from Nigeria that have never been to India at all.
Right, right.
They've been there for 200-400 years.
Just like us, you know what I'm saying? Like Africa, like I never been to Africa at all. I don't know shit about Africa.
Yeah, but see, Africa's a continent; it's not a country.
I know, but yeah, but I know it's a whole bunch of different countries, but Africa in general, you know what I'm saying? I don't know shit about it really. You know, I mean,
here's the thing, man. It's going to be the same. In certain places you're going to go, it's going to be the same as it is here.
Yeah.
That. You know, if you go to certain parts of South Africa, you're going to have to deal with crime. But you go to Cape Town. Cape Town's a beautiful city. You're going to enjoy that.
Johannesburg.
Yeah, Johannesburg. You know, depends on how you get out. But it's like any big city. If you don't understand the culture and how to wiggle, you know, the thing is, like at nighttime, if you're in a resort, you be there before it gets dark.
Yeah.
It's not like nobody's gonna fucking come in here and drag you out. You know what I mean? But that's anywhere.
But if you outside, somebody might drag you off.
I'm saying is at like nighttime. You know what I mean? Like you know, like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like if you go to Cancun, Mexico. You know, you're told directly, you know, don't go wandering, you know, especially at night, because if you leave the resorts, you're in, you know, cartel country now.
Well, here's the thing. I lived in Mexico City for a year. I lived in Tulum for like 8 months, which is right down the street from Cancun. Okay. And when I lived there, it was an entirely different thing. You know, I'm talking in the late 80s.
Yeah, I'm talking now, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell you what a lot of that has to do with, though. That has to do with a lot how you dress, how you carry yourself, and how you get down. Because you know, there's actually 2 Cancuns. If you've ever been there, when you get off the plane, and you get on the bus, because the bus is going to take you there. You don't take taxis. When you get there, you go to the left, and you're going to the city of Cancun. When you go to the right, you're going to the resorts of Cancun. They're two completely separate things.
Yeah, okay? Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, and that's what it is. It's like you got so many people that go down there for spring break, and people go down there just getting fucked up and do it because there's honestly in Cancun, if it's not spring break, and you're not staying in the exclusive resorts, then it's boring as fuck. Like the main strip, where like if you just go on like Airbnb, that's just gonna be fucking raggedy. That's not where the people are at. There are private like resorts there where you're just driving down the road, going towards Tulum, and there'll be just a little sign. And once you drive down that road, there's like security and everything where nobody else can get in. Then when you get in that's when you're in the fucking oasis. Okay? And that's where everything goes. You don't leave that at night, no.
Right.
But the people that they're talking about are the people that are in the Cancun resort city. And yeah, because that's fucking easy prey if you're outside because they know you're not from there. You're gonna get fucked with. You know.
Right.
The main thing that you do is that you just never assume. You know, best thing to do if anybody goes to Cancun, if you go to Cancun to the resort area, then you're not staying at.
You finally came back, fucker.
You're not
staying at my cat.
Yeah, you're not staying at the exclusive resorts. The first thing you do is you rent a motorcycle or you rent a scooter. Okay, that's gonna free you up from getting in any car, any taxi, anything like that. Then you just you abide by the fucking rules. Like always wear a helmet, even if you see everybody else not wearing a helmet. You have to wear a helmet. If you don't wear a helmet, your ass is getting pulled over.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Right. I mean, I've heard stories of people going down there, and because their flights were delayed or there was bad weather, that was happening on wherever the hell they were landing, they ended up having to stay for a day. And the Mexican federales came down and was like, "Hey, you're already behind schedule. You need to get back home." They don't play down there. They do not like white people sticking around for any amount of time extra.
It just depends. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's 2 Cancuns. If you go to the city of Cancun, then that's where the problems arise because that's where you're liable to be fucked with unless you get down a certain way. You know what I mean? Like you don't wear watches, you don't wear jewelry. You know what I mean? You don't wear pants because it's so. First of all, you don't wear pants because it's so hot. But you're in flip flops. You're on your own motorcycle. You carry cash with you because if something does jump off, like let's just say if you drive around with no helmet, you're gonna get shut down by the police because they want money. Same thing. It's the same way in the Philippines, but like they'll pull you over there, write you a ticket, and they say, "Well, you have to follow me to the police station to pay this ticket." And the reason why they say that is because you know damn well you don't want to follow the police station, because they're going to say, I can't give you a receipt. So it's like, you know what? Here's the money. You take it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they just want to pocket the money. You keep money on you. You know, anytime you're in Mexico, particularly Cancun, you don't need to go out with any more than like $40. You know, there's not that much. You don't need to eat that much. The fucking, you're not drinking Coronas. If you're at the resorts, the Corona's free. You know what I mean? If you're in town or whatever, you're drinking the Sol, which is almost equivalent. That's like 50 cents a beer. The only time you need money is if something arises. $20 for like getting pulled over for no helmet or some shit or running the red light, it's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? It's just the other shit when you pull up and then you got a whole bunch of fucking money on you. That's when they're like, well, wait a minute, what are you fucking really worth? You know what I mean? That's when the shit will really jump off. You know what I mean? They'll try to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like that no matter where you go. If you look like a target, you're gonna get nailed.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because that's how it is in the Philippines. When I'm back there, like, I know a lot of people there through my family. So, and that's one of the things is like if you travel to certain countries, if you meet somebody, like let's just say, you meet a security guard that's cool, or you meet a mayor or something that's cool, you keep their fucking number in your phone. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is when I go back to the Philippines. Sometimes I'll go to other areas, I'll get pulled over for some shit, and the first time I really started spending time out there, it was before I filed for my Filipino citizenship. Because my father's Filipino, I still have my all American shit. And what happens? I get pulled over on a motorcycle with a gun. You're not supposed to have guns as a foreigner. You can't have a gun.
Yeah.
So I get pulled over. What happens? They have me on the side of the road for like an hour and a half. Right? And the way it works is that basically what happened was I called my friend's grandfather, which is a general, okay? They let me go. Gave me my gun back, which you're not supposed to do. Gave me the gun back. Okay. Now, had it been anyone else, what would have happened? I don't know if you can see this. Hold on.
Now I know the laws out there are pretty freaking brutal. So
you see this right here? This guy right here? You see this right here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You see that? Like this stays in my Filipino. This stays in my Filipino driver's license. That's my Filipino driver's license right there. That stays in there because he was a general under Marcos. So anytime I get pulled over, if there's an issue, I'll either try to ask for forgiveness, which means that okay, you know what, I'll give you 500 pesos, which is $10. If that don't work, then I got to call him, and then it's just like they work it out and it's cool. Now, one of the things is that, let's just say if you're in the Philippines or if you're really in any other country and you didn't do anything, then you have an option. Generally, you can buy your way out or you can call, the U.S. consulate or U.S., whoever. And there's a catch-22 to that because if you call, in the Philippines, if you call the U.S. consulate to try to get them to help you, you can't buy your way out of it after that because then they know it's corruption. Because it's like if you're charged, then like how did you just get out of jail? You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think that's probably the most terrifying thing in the world for anybody that's traveling outside of the U.S. At least as an American citizen, if you go anywhere else and you get arrested, that's terrifying. Like,
yeah,
and the laws in these countries are so weird.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they're money driven. You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's like they really don't care about you in any way. But if you have the money, then yeah, we'll make an exception for you. You know what I mean? Unless you really did something. But I'm just talking about in general. Like for me, yeah, you know, because in the Philippines, what it is, they have checkpoints. Like they have DUI checkpoints here. They have checkpoints there, and they check every motorcycle because there's so many murders there done on motorcycles. And my friends that advised me out there is like, dude, you have to have the gun if you're gonna be out at night. If you're gonna do this, like, okay, fuck it. So I had a gun in the pouch of the motorcycle, and I'm not knowing they stopped me.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. So like, luckily, I had my friends, you know, his fucking card on me. You know, they called him, and like I said, they gave me back the gun, which you're not supposed to do. You know what I mean? Another time I was drunk driving. You know what I mean? They stopped me. You know, they could have locked me up. I called him again. What happened? They fucking drove me home. You know what I mean? It's just fucking juice. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about the law. It's just about money. You know what I mean? Because the average police there is making fucking $1,000 a month. You know what I mean? They ain't making no fucking money.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? So just take it for what it's worth. You know, I can get by, do whatever. It's the same old shit. You know, in different countries work differently. You know what I mean? But most of South Asia is like that. You know, the rest of South Asia is all Muslim countries. You know what I mean? So like you're not going to be able to buy your way out that cheap. You know what I mean? You're going to definitely go to the police station. Philippines, nah. You know, it's like here's a little bit of money, and then you're cool. You know, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, but like you go to Malaysia, Indonesia, your ass out, man. like you don't have to pay
Get
fucking
that,
everybody.
man. I'll at least stay in the U.S. where I got a chance.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, you don't have to go there and live like I live. You know what I mean? You can go there, you can enjoy the resorts, you can go do other shit because other places, like I said, man, it's like this, you know. Once I started traveling, man, I go places, I enjoy it. When I get back home, yeah, I'm happy to be home, but I'm ready to go again. You know what I mean? And
No, I used to feel the same way when I was an AV technician. I'd be on the road for a week or so, you know, driving nonstop, you know, from here to, you know, wherever the hell we were going. And, you know, by the time the show was over and I was getting into my driveway, I was like, man, I'm so glad that's over. You know, God, I could use a week or so off. Next thing I know, I'm calling up my guy the next day, like, hey, when's the next show?
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, and so like for me, like I said, man, you know, it's important for me, especially at my age, to travel because, you know, 10 years from now, I won't be able to move the way I can. I won't be able to enjoy, you know, I won't be able to tolerate the weather the way I can. You know, like I said, I'm fucking 25 years older than you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, damn near twice your age. You know,
Pretty
so
much.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like for me, like that's what people don't understand, like why I view the things are because I've lived the lifestyle in America that people want to get back to. You know what I mean? Like people want to change America, but they don't want to change America for the better technology wise or nothing like that. They want things to be chill and balanced like they were 35, 40 years ago. That's what they want for America. You know what I mean? Like they want to get rid of the influx of the different religions, different cultures and all that shit, which is what it was 25, 30 years ago. You see what I mean? That's what people want to do. I've already did that. You know what I mean? So, you know, the way things are now, it's hard to get a feel for community. You know, in a lot of areas where I live at, yeah, my neighborhood is like I live in Rohnert Park, California, which is like a city of 40,000 people. You know, most of my neighbors, I mean, you know, I've got like 7 or 8 neighbors that have been there fucking longer than me, and I've had my house for 20 years. You know, so everybody's settled in that community. Once I step outside and I come to the Bay or whatever, then it's different. I'm sure it's like you when you go to Boston. The Boston now is much different than the Boston was for you 10, 15 years ago. You know? So that's I think that's what people were looking for, and you can't go back in time. You know what I mean? So we're always.
I think we discussed this the other day as well on when the stream went down. You know, I think what we're in the middle of right now is a complete changeover of the social, economical, just the entire dynamic of the situation. I think what we're starting to go through is an overall change in, you know, the way the global structure, you know, is gonna be.
Well, yeah, because it's changing how wealth is acquired. You know what I mean? It's definitely changing the way that money is acquired, because 25, 30 years ago, only thing you had to do was go work hard.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I talk to, because I mean, I'm a young buck, but I talk to the old heads a lot. You know, I'm always talking to the older people because, you know, they seem to have a better grasp of what's really going on, you know, in certain cases at least. And, you know, it's
Oh yeah,
definitely
yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah, man. I'll tell you exactly. It's just, you know, it's kind of like how people were saying that, like, oh well, you know, when Islam comes in and takes over, it'll be too late and we won't know. Essentially, that's what's already happened to society, but just in general. You know what I mean? Like back when I was young, you know, I went to Alameda High. I was my freshman and sophomore year. I was the only black there, but we had groups of all ethnicities. You know what I mean? And the majority of the time, majority of all the minorities hung out together because we didn't have anybody else we didn't have nothing in common with enough people like us. I mean, like me, I was cool. I have friends. I still have friends from high school and junior high of every race because that's the type of school that I went to. But you
Yeah,
see
same
now,
here.
yeah, but see now everybody's got their numbers up. You know what I mean? The Indians have their numbers up. The Hispanics got their numbers up. The Asians got their numbers up. So everything is becoming so polarizing to where it's like you see a lot of Asians instead of it's like I see an Asian. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing unique about nowadays to where it's like, you know, when I was growing up, we didn't really know what a person from India was. You know, you may have knew a person that was Indian, but you didn't know what the definition was. You know what I mean? You know, same thing with Filipinos. Filipinos didn't really start coming here until the late 70s. You know, so it was and that goes back to my point of how everybody's always saying nowadays, oh, black and white, black and white. It's like, bro, it's way, way broader than that. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got their numbers up, and it's like, so that's what people are more scared of. It's not necessarily the Muslim thing, as more so as opposed to just the true diversity of racial groups. Because I mean, I don't know in your area, but like you could out here, man, we've got a shitload of people from Mongolia. We've got a shitload of people from Tibet. You know what I mean? I'm talking about in huge numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
We don't have it like that out here, but I mean we've got a lot of diversity, you know, where I'm at and especially where I'm from. I mean, you know, and I think in a sense you're kind of right. It's the, you know, it used to be where, you know, seeing one different type of ethnicity or race or somebody from another culture, you know, that was a rarity. And now it's like, you know, it's become the norm.
yeah.
And I think in a sense what, you know, what the biggest problem is, you know, they keep trying to make white people look to be the bad guy in every situation because white people have done so many messed up things throughout history.
No, man.
And they're,
But here's the thing. I think that I think that majority of people that are saying white guilt and this and that are the whites. Honestly, because the thing is, I don't see, other than like the issue with the border or some loudmouth African American person that shouldn't be quoted in the first place because they can't come from any intellectual point of view. They're just coming from like maybe an attitude of feeling that something's owed to them just because that's the only thing that they can do. You know, it goes, bro. It goes way deeper than that. But it's majority of other whites talking about white guilt, like I was saying earlier, to where people get rallied up. Yeah, I feel that way too, or I feel that way. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with actually anybody really pointing the finger at white people. Because, like I said, the majority of the other races don't give a fuck about white people because their communities are so strong. You know what I mean? Like, tell me, how many black households have you been into?
oh, quite a few. Quite
How
a
many?
few.
Okay, how many Asian households have you been into?
2, I think.
Okay, that's my point. You know what I mean? So, and then how many Indian households have you been into? How many fucking households from other huge ethnicity groups? You know what I mean? And even within that, you have you have other subgroups that we don't even pay attention to. Like you go to Los Angeles, like Los Angeles is divided up. Like you go to Hollywood. Hollywood is all fucking Albanians. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, you go to other places. You got, the Korean area. You got the Filipino area. I'm talking about cities. You know what I mean? So, and then you got.
I mean, I grew up near Boston, man. I mean, I'm well aware. You had Southie, which was pretty much predominantly Irish. You had other parts that were predominantly urban and kind of mixed. You had other parts that was the Italian section. It's quite divided in that sense. I mean, it almost reminds me of the old days where you had in New York, where you had the Irish were in the 5 Points and the Italians were in Little Italy, and then you had Chinatown and this, that, and the other. It's basically the same thing. And I mean, I guess because I come from that perspective of the East Coast and especially the Northeast, where it's a totally different breed out here. Just the way you guys do things out on the West Coast, we just it's different, man. It's completely different.
Well, yeah, out here, bro, you just kind of get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? And like people just relate to what pertains to them because, like I said, everybody's got their numbers up so much. You know what I mean? Everybody just like the Hispanic community. You got the Hispanic community. You got Mexicans that got their numbers up. You got people from El Salvador that got their numbers up. You got the Brazilians that got their numbers up. You know what I mean? You got the Somalis that got their numbers up. You got the people from Belize. So, like I said, I don't see people claiming white guilt. I think that it's just like certain people are using that as a rallying point to get their agenda across because they're seeing so many ethnic groups come in, do their thing, and the other ethnic groups are extremely organized. Extremely organized because you don't see them like in poverty, even though they may be. You're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about Asians. Asians have ghettos too. But show me one. Asians are fucking living in poverty here too. Show me one. Same thing with Indians.
Yeah, you never see an Asian or a red dot Indian sitting on the side of the road begging for change.
Right, but
you don't even really see Spanish people on the side of the road begging for change. They're all at Home Depot trying to get a ride.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Out here you do. That's what I'm saying. Majority of beggars that you're going to see on the street are probably going to be the gypsies. Are going to be gypsies for the most part, but you're going to see them. The majority of WIC people here in the Bay Area are from Middle East or other places. They're not African Americans. African Americans are only like 4% of California now. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's like when people talk about white guilt, it becomes a black and white thing, and it's like no, bro. It's like majority of people don't buy into that. They don't practice that. Like I said, you can always find somebody that's going to speak on that, but I think in general, the people that are coming in, they're not pointing the finger at white people. They're coming in and they're trying to take everything that the whites have. You know what I mean? As far as like not take what they have, but like they're coming in and they don't need them. They're coming in and they're setting up businesses. They're doing shit in moderation. They don't have to skyball. But like you look at the cannabis trade out here in California. Everybody's in this shit. I mean, fucking everybody.
Everybody has gotten into this whole thing.
I went to this one guy, a Filipino guy's house, right? And he works at Kaiser, and his wife's a teacher. And I went up to the house, and like it wasn't until later on that I found out he sold marijuana. And I was like, how the fuck do you afford to? I'm just thinking to myself, how the fuck did you get this house? I mean, you're talking about like a $1.6 million house. He works.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a green gold rush. It's a green rush for real.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is that That's what I'm saying is that like everybody just assumes that okay, well these people are just rich or that. It's like no, they're doing what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? And that's that. You know what I mean? That's what people don't understand is that like bro, like everybody's into this shit. When you talk about coke, I mean it's not necessarily white. It's not necessarily blacks that are fucking into coke and selling coke and the crack. It's kind of like with prostitution. Everybody talks about fucking like, oh, look at this black pimp. It's like, dude, you talking about blacks as pimps? I mean, what is fucking Vegas? Shit. I mean, who's running that shit? You know what I mean? So it's just totally unassuming to where it's totally off base to say that like everybody's claiming is calling out whites for white guilt, things of the past. Like I said, you can have the politicians, but the general public, nah, man. Yeah, I'm not seeing it at all. Like I said, that's mostly the Canadians, and I think you know who I'm talking about, the Faith Goldies and those people. You know, Stephen Molyneux. It's those fuckers that are using the entire American culture to further their shit. You know what I mean? That's who speaks on it. You know what I mean? Laura Southern, you know who she is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like those, like her, Stephen Molyneux, Faith Goldie, they're not Americans. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, no. If I'm not mistaken, everybody you just mentioned, on top of a few others that I can think of off the top of my head, like Jordan Peterson and individuals like that, they're all Canadians.
That's my point. But what are they? But in general, what do they speak on? They speak on American shit. They speak on they break their shit down by race, and then they'll take something and like how she's walking around with signs talking about it's okay to be white. It's like, is there really that fucking big of an issue in Canada? That fucking big ass country that only has 35 million people, and you trying to tell me that it's that big of an issue? You know, you want to push that shit on the rest of the world.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Canada's like 20 years ahead of us on the whole freaking progressive agenda type situation. I mean,
Yeah,
if you listen to Trudeau for all of 5 minutes, you want to just like slap the fucker.
yeah, but it's at the same time, you know, you have to make a decision because if people aren't going to procreate and have more kids, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Unless you just want things to shrink. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real about it, Smurf. I mean, you know, if people aren't going to have kids, what do you want to do?
Well, I think that's why we need to stop making it seem like kids are a burden and, promote having children because of the fact, we're letting our culture die at the same time.
Yeah, but see, we're going to be fine here in the United States, but Canada is a different story because first of all, they don't have a lot of people there in the first place. You know what I mean? Canada is only like 35, 34 million people. That's it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right,
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, and all their huddled masses are pretty much all right next to our border.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're spread out. You know what I mean? The middle of Canada is fucking like nothing there.
Oh yeah, as soon as you go into the northern territories, forget it. There's nothing out there besides woods, bears, and like what, moose and reindeer.
But see, here's the thing though, it's all natural resources. You know what I mean? So they can cut away for the next 100 years and fucking not touch any, and not like really damage anything. So they have the natural resources, but to say that like people are coming in and they're taking their country. Well, what the fuck are you guys gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like either you want to be recluse, you want to close it down and have less people, or you want to procreate, or you want to bring people in. And if you don't want to bring people in, then you have to change the Constitution.
Well, my whole thing is, allow people to come in. That's one thing, but stop with the bastardization of our language, border, and culture. If you're gonna come here, do it right. Progress, be an American. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your homeland, but you're an American first and nothing more. Everything else comes secondary.
Right, but here's the thing, though, is that I'm not speaking of people that are coming here there illegally, and for the most part, they're not speaking on that either. They're just speaking on the difference in religion and culture, which America, like I said, this America is much different than my America because we're finally noticing it because everybody's got their numbers up to where their culture means something now. You see what I mean? It's always been there. We're just now paying attention to it. You know, and it basically it's like now you can't do anything about it. They have ties back to their country. They have their own television stations. They have fucking everything. Look at the fucking Hispanics with Telemundo. They don't give a fuck about English.
No, I totally agree, and that's where my problem lies with it. Is like, you know, I work with the general public, and I swear some of these people will just act ignorant to you, just because of the fact, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, I swear sometimes they're just being ignorant to be ignorant.
Man, Smurf, it's like this, bro. I'm African American and I own my own fucking business. You know what the fuck do you think I go through? You know what I mean? It's like I'll tell you, like I have a couple people that work for me, and I have my partner Malachi Padron. He's Mexican, but people assume that he's white, and I've known him since grade school. So I've known him for actually since the seventh grade. We've known each other. Okay, so you're talking. I've known this guy for over 40 years, and people come in and they assume that he owns the business because they're not used to seeing blacks own shit. You know what I mean? So when I deal with people, if I deal with an Indian person, I give them my business card for embroidery or for CD manufacturing. People kind of scratch their head and they're like, what's the catch to this? Or, who's the owner? It's like, I own the business. People aren't used to that. Culturally, we assume certain things from certain people. It's kind of like
that all Asians are smart, and
all Asians are rich. And
all Asians are smart, and all the Jews are rich.
Or that all Asians are racist. Because I'll tell you one thing in my business, especially in the CD manufacturing business, one thing about Asians, particularly Asian women, is they admire entrepreneurship and business-minded people. Because I've had so many Asian women hit on me in the past. You know what I mean? Like there's this one chick that I used to go get my supplies from all the time, and she used to hit on me, and her husband worked there. He's Chinese. It was just an issue to where like they don't care. A lot of people don't care about what color you are or nothing. If you're ambitious, wealthy person, they set that shit aside. You know what I mean? And at least from my experience, that's not saying all, but once people get to know you and they get past the assumptions, that's when people form, their opinions change in general about you. But yeah, man, you'd be surprised, man. Like people aren't used to, especially here on the West Coast. Down south, you have African Americans that got businesses, but out here, man, I get fucking I walk into a certain business and try to give my business card to garner business. People look like, well, who the fuck are you? Like, so people just assume things, and I think that's one of the problems is that it's not the other ethnic groups that are stirring up shit and saying that, well, oh, it's white guilt. It's white guilt. No, man, it's people that want to use that shit because that's easy to use to rally the troops. You know what I mean? If the Proud Boys come in there and say, well, the Muslims are doing this or this so-and-so is doing that, that's easy to do. Because 9 times out of 10, the people that you're going after, you can Google some type of history on some shit that they've done that you don't like, that doesn't appeal to you. You know what I mean? And that's the things like you look at the Indians or you look at the Asians. It's like, I mean, who's stealing all our intellectual property? You know what I mean? Who's doing all this other shit? You know what I mean? So as long as they don't fucking, that Chinese restaurant down the street, as long as they don't chop up no fucking dogs and start serving them to you, you don't know what the fuck they're doing. You don't have an issue with them. You know what I mean? Because nothing that they're doing it's so polarized. It's so polarizing that you can actually pay attention to it.
No,
You know
like I was saying the other night, they're more subversive with the way they do things,
Yeah.
and you know, they're just sneaky about shit. Where the Muslims are just wide out in the open. You know, we're gonna take your land, your culture, your women, and you know they're all gonna bow to Muslim law.
Yeah. Which when in fact that's the same thing that China's thinking, but on a fucking global scale. You know. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
So,
I said, the Chinese remind me of the 70s, you know, horror flick The Blob, because it just keeps metastasizing and growing and just taking over more and more stuff. And I mean, it's getting troublesome to the point where it's like, you know, do we check these fuckers and basically tell them, hey, we see what you're doing and knock it the hell off? Or, you know, do we just continue to let them run roughshod over every economy that's out there and basically bury them?
we can't. We can't do anything to China.
Maurice Duck is back. How everybody doing? I'm back. I'll tell my son. I ain't tell my son in 2 months.
Yeah, we chopping up, but yeah, but no.
Hey, thank you for holding down the arguing. And
No, we've been no.
Me and likewise know how to have a discussion without raising our voices.
look,
We go into a deeper thought.
I heard y'all, and I respect y'all. That look, me and my son, we was talking. He's a liberal. We talked, and I heard y'all talking. All right, he said, "Let him talk." Me and my son ain't talking a while. We're without good.
Oh, that's good, Mo. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, man.
Yeah,
and I love that, and I love how everybody have calmed down. It's good. What the fucking point of arguing? You know, so likewise, a lot of times I think you talk out your ass, but you know what? You come on platform anytime, so whatever.
Well, hold on, dude. How do I talk out of my ass?
That's in my opinion. He's like, hold on, brother, hold on. He ready to light this shit up tonight.
I don't want to hear anything you say, dude, until you get on that fucking horse, man.
No. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think you talk out your ass. In my opinion.
Nah, because because you know what though, this is just a platform that I enjoy being on, and we leave it at that, because at the end of the day, once I turn off, you know, I've got a huge agenda of my own to take care of. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and like I said, I try to bring something to the table that other people won't. Just like Smurf will bring something to the table, or AD will bring something else to the table, because we all come from different walks of life. You know?
Right. I get that. I get that.
Yeah. You know? So like I said, you know, some people, you know, come on and talk about religion. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I mean, like, you know, at the end of the day, my beer is gonna taste the same.
Yeah. You gotta be drink.
You know what I'm saying? So we can all learn something from each other, which is what I'm all about, bro. That's why I enjoy the internet, because you know, I can go on. Like, for me at this point in time in life, it's hard to even listen to music, because I feel like I'm wasting time, you know, when I could be like exploring someplace and learning something about, you know what I mean? And then in return, you know, I share that with you guys, or just, you never know, man. Like, you know, the shit that you learn. Like, I met some people from Mongolia.
Hey, Melissa, no.
You know, it's like weird. Like, I met some people from Mongolia, right?
Right.
The guys were talking, right? And I said, hey, you guys are from Mongolia, right? And they were just blown away. They're like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, because I understand what you guys are, not what you're saying, but I understand like your nuance, right? And their nuance, you know, the Mongolian nuance is exactly the same as it is from Japan.
Hey, how did y'all hold it down while look, I was gone for an hour. No arguing while I was gone?
Me and Smurf don't argue.
I was gone for a whole hour.
Yeah, but we don't argue.
It's been this long.
No,
we don't really argue. We don't need to.
I love that shit. That's how
I'm able to, you know, understand and retort when something is brought up. You know, that's how I do things. And plus, I'm one of those individuals. I can see either side of the coin. You know, I always make it a point to, if I can't argue both sides of whatever the situation is, then I don't speak on it.
Okay.
You know, so I don't really need to raise my voice and get
Of
loud
course you
and
don't. Of course
argumentative.
you don't. But these motherfuckers are willing to raise their goddamn voice because they only want to hear.
It also depends on the subject matter because for some reason, me and Smurf, we always end up getting off of like the hardcore politics.
Yeah, that's why I love the conversation.
To talk about the workings of like you know, of the world and stuff.
What's up, John?
You know, generally we don't stay here in the United States.
John, if you'll come on here, let me know. John, if you want to come on here, let me know. We can get John on here. Look, we might as well just chip. John won't come on here. Let us know. If not,
but yeah. Anyway, Smurf, I that's how I kind of see it. I kind of see it as like outside agitators. You know what I mean? Because when you look at like the Faith Goldies and you know the Laura Southerns and you know the and stuff like that, when you look at the people like that, like they have such a huge platform and they don't have to really cross any boundaries. Like, you know, like they get on their platform and they don't have to debate anybody. They just have to feed it to their sheep. You know what I mean? Which just helps them build up because it's not like somebody's going to go on there and contradict you.
Right.
Then the next thing you know, half the listeners are calling bullshit because somebody called them out on it.
Well, actually, that's already happened to a few of them. I mean, I can point to one in particular. You know, Jordan Peterson used to be the right's favorite just because of the fact he was, you know, trying to tell young men to straighten out their bullshit. And then you listen to the guy long enough and you realize he's a rambling buffoon that, you know, just lies constantly. You know, so these people are being pointed out, but you know, these individuals also are needed to keep shaking up the dynamic because you know it's
keep shaking it up.
But here's the thing, though, Smurf, is that by the time they are called out, there's enough troops that they've rallied that will start showing up to the Proud Boys shit and start showing up to certain events because they're enlightened on something that maybe they're passionate about, or maybe something that like
they're passionate about it.
That they see other people doing it. You know what I mean? So by then,
I see organizations like the Proud Boys as a positive factor in this whole situation, just because of the fact, you know, when individuals are having rallies, pro-American, pro-patriot rallies, a lot of these guys can't get security over there. Proud Boys show up in numbers because of the fact they're like, well, if nobody else is going to guard these guys, we will. And we'll stand in between the protesters just to make sure if shit pops off, we're going to war. I mean, their saying is fuck around and find out.
Right, but here's my
point. I respect the shit out of those dudes.
Right, but here's my point, though. Okay, when the Proud Boys first came out and moving around, you had a lot of people in the Southwest, a lot of skinheads, a lot of neo-Nazis and shit that like, oh, Proud Boys, as in being white proud. That's what they assumed. And that's
but that's the thing with the Proud Boys. They have a very good filtration system when it comes to those individuals because they don't want those kind of guys in there.
Correct. But my point was, though, is that it sparked something within them just before they even knew who was really in charge, and that the guy that's in charge is not even white. It was a movement that they bought into.
No, the guy who originally started it was Gavin McInnes. Who's a Scotsman. And they forced him to step down as head of the Proud Boys, mainly because they tried saying that it was a gang instead of just a fraternity.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like, they're extremely strong in the Northwest.
Yes.
Right? And the people that were rallying behind it were the neo-Nazis. And that's why they had to go on there. Yeah, and that's why they had to go on there and actually tell them, like, you guys are not welcome.
Yeah, because they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is that it's the people like that are going to buy into anything that they can identify with or slightly identify with, even if they don't know that, in fact, it's not fucking for them in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were never showing up, they would never have to denounce them. You know, you see what I mean? So that's what I'm saying is with the Faith Goldies and all those other people, they're rallying those same people up, but they're taking them deeper.
You heard that?
They're taking it deeper because they're saying like, oh well, you know, like Faith
You
Goldie,
know John Amott?
Faith Goldie was running around with those shirts,
Fuck out of here.
saying it's okay to be white. I mean, who's telling you it's not okay to be white? I mean, who's really doing this? You know, who's
it's okay to be white? You fucking cocksuckers.
You know, but you know, like they want to do that. You know, Laura Southern, you know, going down to Australia with that shit. You know, it's okay to be white and pushing that issue.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that's just it.
You know, but basically that's what I'm saying, Smurf. Is that like, you know, it's certain things that people are sensitive about.
Yes.
That they'll bite into anything and follow anyone that is even close or similar to thinking the same way. You know what I mean? So I don't you know, I don't like going back to the point, you know, how you were saying that like everybody's saying that that everybody's trying to, you know, preach white guilt. It's like, nah, man, motherfuckers are on their own now, man. Nobody's really thinking like that. You know, at least not here. Certain areas, yeah, but West Coast, everybody's got their numbers up to where it's like the last thing motherfuckers are really thinking about is another race. You know?
What's up, Mark? Damn, you on mod? What the fuck you on mod? No, you have a mod, nigga. You said, Mark Miller, you talked earlier. I'm tired of these fucking dick riders, motherfuckers. Do you ready for me to tell fucking truth? And I won't do this shit. I won't do it. Next. Mark Miller.
Not to say, leave it alone, Mo. You know, things were getting quiet for a little while, and then these fuckers wanted to start up again.
These fucking twats. Let me shut up. Let me shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man.
The way I see it, man, there's so much division going on. There's so much fractalization that, you know, eventually the glass is gonna shatter, and we're gonna have some problems.
Hey, Mo. Stop it. Stop.
Well, like, yeah, but see, the thing is that I think that, like I said, I think the division.
Stop it, stop.
Like I said, I think the division's already been there, and I think it's just being noticed. But I think the division is there not because of any type of racism. It's just that people have enough people that identify to where they don't have to fuck with anybody else. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, why does a person that just hangs out with a certain group of people, why do they have to go fuck with somebody else?
Right. Well, why do the fuck they got to fuck with somebody else?
And like I said, I think a lot of people that do the complaining are just upset because they're seeing that certain groups of people are successful without them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why do they have that and we don't have that when this is our country? You know what I mean? I think that's what it is, you know, because like how people are complaining about certain groups of people, they're complaining about.
I dig that.
They're complaining about this, they're complaining about that, but it's like, you know, wealth and all that shit is not meant for everybody. I don't give a fuck what race you are. You know what I mean? So, you know, people saying, like with Faith Goldie, they're taking over our country. Well, you know what? If you look at any other country in Europe, when you talk about replacement, no other country in Europe can afford to give up whites. So even if you were to swap out the Muslims in your country for whites, you can't, because other countries in China in Europe can't afford to give you the whites because they need the whites to goddamn self. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's why the eastern part of Europe is you know, where it's at right now.
But you are the same one that are saying that you are globalists. So why you are globalists?
No, but I'm globalist in that like I enjoy going places that I enjoy seeing things other than the United States. You know what I'm saying?
For the shit.
Once again, Mo, I mean, hold up. judging by the way he responded, judging by the way likewise responded to Da Vinci about, believing in the deep state and this, that sort of thing. If he's not into that, he's not going to understand globalists and that whole mentality. That's a totally different thing. After talking to likewise for a number of times, I don't necessarily think he's a globalist. He's more of a world traveler, and he tries to
Tribalism.
No, well, the thing is, bro, I appreciate everything. Some people only appreciate America. Some people only appreciate fucking the South or a certain state. I want more, bro. I gotta have it all.
Shit.
I gotta have it all, man.
You're more of an accumulist than a globalist.
Exactly. So when people say, "Well, I'm an American," I'm this, is like, no, bro. I want everything in this world, bro. Before it's all said and done, I'm gonna end up in the Philippines for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stay in the Philippines. I mean, you can get in the Philippines. I get on a plane. I could be in Australia in 3 hours. I can be in China in 2 hours. I could be in fucking Papua New Guinea in a fucking hour and a half. You know what I mean? It's about moving around and getting what the fuck you can out of it. That's like saying, like, oh, I only like black women.
Right?
No, I want everything. I want it all. Because when this shit's said and done, I don't want to be here 20 years now talking about I coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean? That's what everybody always tells me. It's like, man, all the people that I've talked to, it's like, yeah, you're doing the right thing. Don't wait till it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because it's shit, like I said, when you travel the world or you go places, it's like when you came out here to California, right?
Yeah.
You came out here for a couple months, and then when you went back home, what was different when you got home? Nothing. You came to California, you saw something different, you went back home, motherfuckers doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking why not go? You know what I mean? And so like that's what I said, bro. I grew up in the age of fucking National Geographic. That shit was amazing to me. Like Jay, Smurf, you're talking about the Blob, bro. I remember when the Blob first came out. That shit was scary. All that shit. That's my generation, bro. I come from the Dreamers generation, bro. Of being afraid of the boogeyman, being afraid of the dark. That's me. You see what I'm saying? So all this shit, going and see shit that was like fucking incomprehensible. Right. You know what I mean?
No, and like I said, I get it. I understand that point of it. There's no reason why, if you can't go see places and go places, there's no reason why you shouldn't or couldn't. I totally agree with that.
No, I'm talking to Mo about that, because when people say, well,
and why to me?
Well, because the thing is, when I'm explaining to you that I'm a globalist, it's like people say, well, I'm an American. Nigga. When I say I'm a globalist, that's not a point. That's not a political statement. That's me. Because I can go live anywhere in the world and be happy.
That's the thing, though, man. When you use certain words nowadays, especially ones like globalist, people that are in the know and understand what a globalist is or what the deep state is, and what's going on behind the scenes in this political game, that raises eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you say you're a globalist, it's like, are you out for world domination? Is that what you're about? Like, are you trying to, see the world taken over by one power and one government?
Nah.
Or, is it something totally different, like what you're saying? You just want to experience the world and everything it has to offer. That's a totally different thing.
Yeah. That's all I was saying for me. When somebody says, well, I'm American or I'm this, it's like, no, I'm not American or Filipino. I'm a globalist. And then, like, I want everything. I don't just identify with American culture, Filipino culture. I identify with a lot of cultures because I appreciate the difference in things. You know what I mean? Once you travel places, you see things and you see how people live. And, you go some places and people are so fucking poor that they don't even know they're poor. You know what I mean? Like, because that's their daily operation, and they're happy and they have fun doing it. They have fun. They're doing what they do. You know what I mean? That's
the one statistic that blows my mind every time I read it. Americans have the highest rate of depression and mental illness and all this other stuff, and we have all this shit to keep us busy and occupied. You go to these, second world, third world countries where people are living on dirt floors and, with grass huts and shit, and they're happy as hell. They don't have an issue with depression. Gee, I wonder why.
Because that's the reality, and their reality will never change. So they don't try to push forward. They move day to day doing what they do. You know what I mean? And that's how it is. Like that. That's how it is in the Philippines. It's like the Philippines is not a third world country. It's more like a fifth world country because you have so many different layers to it. You know what I mean? Like you could be in Manila, which is the most modern, one of the most modern cities in the world, where there's over 20 million people. You drive for an hour and a half, and you're going to be in a place where people have been living the same way for the last 150 years. There's that contrast just that fast. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But people just they take it for what it is and they make the most of it. And it's like, it's kind of like how we were talking about where all the money's at in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the fucking money in this country is in farming. You know what I mean? Like fucking farmers are fucking rich as fuck.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like truly, because we saw we saw that shit to China. So if people were talking about, I own this type of business, like, dude, fucking farmers are fucking making crazy money. In Ohio, fucking Louisiana, fuck, all that sugar cane, fucking soybeans, fucking motherfuckers are fucking rich as fuck.
Right,
but the thing is, to us, it's like, you're just a country bumpkin.
All right, and everybody, it's 1 o'clock. I got to work in the morning. Thank you. Anybody got something to say before they leave?
No, we just usually talk. You just can bounce out.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Smart Bear, what you got to say before I leave?
You can just go slobber on your pillow, man.
All right, I'm going. I go to bed.
Much love, Mo. Thank you so much. You're always a great host. The only thing I want to say is socialism and communism always ends in starvation and genocide. Let's not let it happen here.
Right.
Fuck that bullshit.
Fuck it. You dig?
Yeah.
Hey, you go.